Just hanging around 50 degrees right now and heading for the low 80s today. Updated weather brought to you by Manchester Brook Materials. Be sure to call Darcy at 802-633-4122. Lining up your projects with Manchester Brook Materials. 2 convenient locations at 596 Cross Road, Waterford, Route 5 North in East Reigate. Checking out the Tom Cuddy Sports Report with the Red Sox momentarily. Well, I also have a Patriots report coming up a little bit later on this morning. We're giving away some tickets this morning to Weathervane Theater in Whitefield. And coming up first, we'll give away tickets to Xanadu coming up on Thursday, July 30th at 2 p.m. Xanadu is a hilarious 80s musical in which a Greek muse inspires a roller disco. Forbidden Love, Jealous Sisters, and Chaos unfold to hits like the songs Magic and All Over the World. And we have a couple of tickets if you're interested. First caller at 802-757-2773 will get those. And as the morning progresses, we also have additional tickets to other shows at Weathervane Theater in Whitefield.
Red Sox back to work tonight. Their incredible streak of winning game after game is over. Next 3 games at Fenway against the Blue Jays. Red Sox manager Chad Tracy.
We've put ourselves in a playoff race now, not only for a wild card, but a chance at a division. So, that's got to be the focus. Very, very, very proud of what they accomplished and what they've done over the last however many weeks it's been with the night. And now we got to refocus.
Chad Tracy, winners of 15 of their last 16 games. Sox players running on optimism. Team spokesperson Wilson Contreras.
The adjustment we made as a group and as a team was amazing, offensively and defensively, and the pitchers are doing an amazing job. But we have to turn the page, clear our heads for Friday, and keep playing baseball.
Wilson Contreras, Red Sox and Toronto on Yawkey Way tonight. It's a 3-game series.
It's Riley Green, Ella Langley at 17 after 6. A good morning. Clear skies, a little fog in the valley. Burning off to temps in the low 80s here in the listening area. And reminding you, trying to give away a couple of tickets to Xanadu coming up Thursday, July 30th at 2 p.m. at Whitefield's Weathervane Theater. And Xanadu is a hilarious 80s musical in which a Greek muse inspires a roller disco. Forbidden Love, Jealous Sisters, and Chaos unfold to hits like the songs Magic and All Over the World. And we have a couple we'd like to give away. Weathervane Theater in Whitefield, 802-757-2773. Weather's coming up.
Distracted driving can take many forms, such as changing music, eating, or talking on the phone. But the most dangerous by far is texting while driving. Although it may seem harmless in the moment, it takes your hands off the wheel, your eyes off the road, and your mind off driving. A dangerous and sometimes deadly combination. Be a responsible driver. Turn on an auto reply feature or app that notifies your friends and family that you're driving and cannot reply. Or better yet, turn off your phone entirely. Please, pledge to never drive distracted. It's not worth your life or anyone else's. Take it from me and MMG, protecting your piece of the world.
The Swenson Insurance Agency of Bradford is an independent agency that represents regional and national insurance companies to meet your insurance needs. The professional staff can provide you with the expertise you deserve to make the best insurance buying decisions. Service is their best policy at the Swenson Insurance Agency, Bradford.
At 19 minutes after 6, we take a look at the weather. It's being brought to you by Wells River Chevrolet, which is part of the Autosaver Group, and that's a really big deal. As in the Autosaver Group's Big Deal Plus that comes at no charge with the purchase or lease of every new or used vehicle at Wells River Chevrolet. At the Autosaver Group's Wells River Chevrolet July Truck Special, new 2026 model year Silverado 1500 Custom Crew Cab 4-wheel drive Trail Boss 5.3-liter V8. MSRP $64.90, buy for $53,490. You save $7,000. Wells River Chevy is home of the big deal. Hurry in today or shop online anytime at wellsriverchevy.com. Together, let's drive. Stock number WT26245. Not available with lease and some other offers. Some restrictions apply. Must take new retail delivery by August 3rd, 2026.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, mostly sunny after any early fog. Highs in the upper 70s to lower 80s, winds variable to southwest around 5 miles an hour. Mostly clear overnight, lows from the mid-40s to around 50. Saturday, areas of valley fog early, then mostly sunny with highs in the low to mid-80s. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
All right, thank you. Sitting at 48, heading for the low 80s. That is morning drive weather from the Fairbanks Museum. That's brought to you by Wells River Chevrolet, part of the Auto Saver Group. Same great people, same great experience. And now the Big Deal Plus. They're on the web at wellsriverchevy.com. And at about 7:45 this morning, another update from the showroom floor with Ted Cooper at Your Country, WYKR. Good morning.
If you are planning to build this year, now's the time to contact Rich Clifford Concrete. Booking early can help you avoid delays and possibly save money. Rich Clifford Concrete is proud to say they are 4 generations strong. They specialize in almost anything concrete, including foundations, concrete floors, slabs, and retaining walls. If it involves concrete, call Rich Clifford Concrete in North Haverhill at 603-787-2573.
Coming up 6:28, and good morning, Stephen, John, and friends, up until 9 this morning. Moments away from a conversation with Gary Scruton, one of the directors of the North Haverhill Fair, which is going on as we speak. Looks like some pretty good weather for it as well. We'll be checking that out momentarily. And a reminder again that we're giving away tickets this morning to the Vane Theater, this hour to Xanadu, and then Rent, and also to Tick Tick Boom. So if you're interested, just give us a call, 802-757-2773. As Vane Theater isn't that far away, right up there in Whitefield. Taking a look at the weather now, with the temperature still at 48 degrees under clear blue sunny skies. We're heading for the low 80s today. It's being brought to you by St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, which is part of the Auto Saver Group, where every deal comes with a Big Deal Plus, a 2-year unlimited scheduled maintenance plan, which includes free state inspections for life.
So where's the big deal?
Holy schmoly, it's Matt Lecire from the Auto Saver Group, St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Right now we're offering up to 20% off on our incredible selection of 2026 Ram 1500 crew cabs. That's right, save thousands on America's most awarded light-duty truck. Whether you're looking for a hard-working tradesman, a loaded bighorn, or a luxurious Laramie, we've got the truck that fits your lifestyle and budget. And don't forget, every new Ram comes backed by the industry's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, but only ours comes with 2 years of free maintenance and lifetime state inspections at no additional cost for added peace of mind. Inventory is moving fast, so don't wait. Visit us today at St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, just past the railroad tracks in St. Johnsbury, Vermont, or shop us anytime at stjohnsburycdjr.com.
Savings vary by model and stock number. Up to 20% off MSRP on select in-stock 2026 Ram 1500 models. Tax, title, registration extra. Offer ends 8/3/2026.
St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where Vermont comes to drive.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, mostly sunny after any early fog. Highs in the upper 70s to lower 80s, winds variable to southwest around 5 miles an hour. Mostly clear overnight, lows from the mid-40s to around 50. Saturday, areas of valley fog early, then mostly sunny with highs in the low to mid-80s. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
It's exactly 6:30, and we're hanging around 50 degrees, heading for the upper 70s and low 80s in the listening area. That's the weather as we head into the weekends, brought to you by St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, which is part of the Auto Saver Group. Momentarily, we'll be listening to the conversation at Joshua Smith Head with Gary Scruton at the North Haverhill Fair. But first, Lou Del Grego's Italian Diner. Will be set up today at Three Bears, right here on Route 302 for lunch and dinner. And they'll have their usual classic and signature pizzas, including the legendary homemade hot honey, pepperoni, and house-whipped ricotta, and the garlic Jim with pepperoni, minced garlic sauce, and 3-cheese blend with honey garlic drizzler. And this week's specials are the Tennessee Red Pizza with giant panuzza sandwich. And, of course, both have house-smoked pulled pork, red onions, and red sweet mini peppers with Tennessee Red sauce. Be sure and ask for homemade candied jalapenos for the pizza or sandwich, and creamy horseradish for the sandwich. And, of course, Lou Del Grego's Italian Diner with those great tasting foods that we just ran down. Their specials today at Three Bears Country Barn, which is located right here on Route 302. Lou Del Grego's will be set up for lunch and dinner. Enjoy. We're approaching 6:32. The conversation that Joshua Smith had with Gary Scruton. Don't forget the Bear Ridge Speedway race reports coming up in just a few minutes.
So we're excited to have on the line here Gary Scruton. Gary, how are you doing?
I'm doing just fine, Josh, and yourself?
I'm doing well, and I know I was in a meeting with Gary Scruton a few days ago on video, and he had a lot of hats behind him. And so not only does Gary literally wear many hats, he's also figuratively wearing many hats. So Gary, what hat are you wearing with us today on the radio?
Well, it's towards the end of July, so naturally I have the North Haverhill Fair, actually Board of Directors hat on today, and in fact I'm talking from the fairgrounds right at the moment.
Excellent. Yeah, I was just there, and I was hanging up some signs for WYKR, and this is quite a celebration because the theme this year is 250 years.
Yes, America, 250 years in the making. And so we've got half a dozen scarecrows as well as arts and crafts. And our volunteers all have red, white, and blue T-shirts this year. So we're embracing our theme of America, 250 years in the making.
Yeah, so you have some returning favorites, but you also have some new activities and exhibits that you guys are presenting this year.
Right. Well, returning this year, kind of the big ones are the Wee Racing Pigs. We've also got the Aim High Canines that I think were not here last year, but have been in the past, and they're going to be back with us again this year. And, of course, we've got Circus, that is the motorcycle group, and some high wire acts that they're doing. They've returned this year. So those three do multiple shows every day. Plus, we've got the folks under the Little Diggers tent, and that's an interesting exhibit unto itself. And not really even an exhibit. It's for kids or even adults to go in there and learn a little something about excavation, maybe some building. There's a lot of different things that they are offering this year. And, of course, beyond that, all the great events that everybody is expected to see from North Haverhill Fair, including a pretty good-sized concert this evening.
Yeah, talk to us a little bit about the concert that's happening.
Yeah, it's called Taylor's Story, and yes, we're talking about Taylor Swift, but no, Taylor Swift herself will not be here tonight, not that I know of anyhow. But it's really a history of Taylor Swift's music, and it's quite the presentation, and I'm really looking forward to a great show. And of course, the weather can't be much better than what we've had for North Haverhill Fair, and we're expecting that great weather to continue for all 5 days. But the Taylor Swift show and all of these things that I've mentioned, we got to keep mentioning that you pay your admission fee at the front gate, you come on in, and all of these shows are free with your paid admission.
Yeah, and it's amazing, Gary, because as you say, last year it didn't rain, but it was a little hot. The year before that it was rainy. This is picture-perfect weather for the entire weekend.
It is. Last year Sunday was a big washout for us. And, of course, Sunday we've got plenty of stuff. If you like trucks, Sunday is probably one of your best days to come to the fair because first thing in the morning, we've got a show and shine, which we've got 3 divisions of big rig trucks, not only big rigs, but loaders or log trucks, I should say, and 6-wheel utility trucks, and shine them up, bring them down, show them off. The public gets to vote for their favorite in 3 different divisions. Once they're finished, and that goes from, I believe, 9 until 11:30. At 12 noon, we bring out all the log loaders. They have a competition. They are given certain tasks to do, each one of them, and they're timed. We'll see who is the fastest and the most punctual with a log loader. And then after that is done, scheduled for 3 o'clock, a big rig truck pull. When the big rigs hook right up to the transfer sled and just see how far they can pull that thing.
Yeah, I tell you, so what I love about going into the North Haverhill Fair is that you can spend, the reason why you have multi-day passes because it's almost impossible to see everything in one day. You have to go back.
Well, there's new things happening every day. I can mention that Wednesday night, we have a car show where we bring in all the classic cars. We had almost 100 cars that showed up on Wednesday night for that. And then we also have a secondary classic car show where they slam and bang against each other. It's called Demolition Derby, and we had almost 20 cars in that. And that was quite a show this week. So, yeah, there's a different show, a different special show every day. So the interest of folks, one day, probably you can't see everything you want to see in one day because there's so many things going on. And, of course, Saturday night concert is going to be a big one, especially for local folks, because Carly Blood is going to be on the stage. And she's got a local following, and she's starting to develop a national following as well. So Carly Blood, town girl, that's going to be on the Thayer stage Saturday night. That concert starts at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, and I hope she remembers us when she really hits it big, too. So, yeah.
Well, she's bound to. It's not be the first time she's ever been on that stage, but certainly first time that she'll be out there as the main act.
Right. And just to remind our listeners, too, there's so much to see there at the North Haverhill Fair, too. You got your remote control race cars, which I love watching those, and the frying pan toss.
Yes, and a fair to remember, Liz Shelton there in Woodsville is the sponsor of that. And, ladies come down, and we've got special fry pans. And basically, if you remember the old punt, pass, and kick competitions, you stand at a line, and there's a tape measure going down the middle, and you just throw that frying pan as far as you can and as accurately as you can. And the distance you get minus the distance away from that center line is what your final score is. And that's a great competition. We'd love to get more ladies down there volunteering and participating in that. And when that is finished, we have what's called the kettlebell toss. And those of you that are into training know what a kettlebell is. Basically, it's a free weight. I think it's a 20-pound weight that they are throwing and using the same thing. And this is for the guys. So I think last year they let a couple of women enter that as well. So it's a kettlebell toss, and that one is sponsored by David Robinson and the crew there at Always Fit there in Woodsville.
Right. So we're talking to Gary Scruton. And Gary, any final comments for people to expect over at the North Haverhill Fair?
Well, expect some great weather this weekend and expect some good crowds. And expect to pay $15 at the gate for anybody over 12. Kids 5 to 12 are just $3. Under 5 is free. The parking is also free. We do take credit cards at the front gate along with cash, and you can even go online and buy your ticket ahead of time if that is your desire. We've got some ATMs scattered around the fairgrounds if you start running a little short on cash, because some of our vendors take cash only, some will take credit cards, so be prepared both ways. But come on down to the fair and enjoy it, and it's a heck of a deal for most everybody.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you so much, Gary.
Well, thank you, Josh, and hope to see you at the 82nd Annual North Haverhill Fair.
Eric White, owner of Eric's Auto Body.
Sure, anybody's welcome to come in at any time between 7 and 5 to get a free estimate on anything they're looking to have done, whether it be a collision repair or out of their pocket, a little rust bubble, anything they need. Quotes, same thing as our estimates, just a quote, but we'll do whatever we need to do to make their repair as easy as possible. We are 7 to 5, Monday through Friday, 82 Business Park Road in North Haverhill.
Eric's Auto Body.
Chief Crushing and Excavation has plenty of products that can be delivered to you from one of their many nearby locations. Products available include sand for septic systems, crushed gravel, topsoil, clay fills, stay mat, ledge, and specialty items such as blue ledge and gravel. Chief Crushing and Excavation is fully insured and has Vermont and New Hampshire locations near you, including Wells River Quarry, the South Rygate Pit, Nick's Aggregate and Pike, and Blaisdell Sand and Gravel in North Haverhill. Excavation and full land clearing services are also available. For quarry operation hours, pricing, and directions, call Chief Crushing and Excavation at 802-584-3868.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, mostly sunny after any early fog. Highs in the upper 70s to lower 80s, winds variable to southwest around 5 miles an hour. Mostly clear overnight, lows from the mid-40s to around 50. Saturday, areas of valley fog early, then mostly sunny with highs in the low to mid-80s. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
All right, thank you. 642. It's 49 degrees under clear blue, sunny skies, and there you have it. Updated weekend weather. Pretty good for the 82nd annual North Haverhill Fair. And, of course, the weather's brought to you this time by Chief Crushing and Excavation at 802-584-3868. Our Bay Ridge Speedway race report's coming up in just a minute. At the Autosaver Group's Wells River Chevrolet July Truck Special, new 2026 model year Silverado 1500 Custom Crew Cab 4-wheel drive Trail Boss 5.3-liter V8. MSRP $64.90, buy for $53,490. You save $7,000. Wells River Chevy is home of the big deal. Hurry in today or shop online anytime at wellsriverchevy.com. Together, let's drive. Stock number WT26245. Not available with lease and some other offers. Some restrictions apply. Must take new retail delivery by August 3rd, 2026. All right, we're all set for the Bay Ridge Speedway race reports brought to you by your friends at Wells River Chevrolet. And in about an hour at 7:45, Ted Cooper gives us his bi-weekly update from the showroom floor. Good morning.
Good morning.
Man, it's been weeks since we've had a report from you guys in regards to what's happening at the Ridge.
Well, hopefully Mother Nature will stay with us another day like today right now. And we can get a good show in tomorrow night.
Yeah. Yeah, so you had to call it last week because of the rain. And then the week before, you took off just for...
Because of the rodeo for Thursday night. So yeah,
this would make it 3 weeks and you've raced, right? 2, 3?
Yeah, we've had 2 off in a row.
Yeah.
Yep. It's starting all over again.
Man. 9 races left. Yeah. Did you know that? Well, counting tomorrow.
You counting Sunday Fun Day?
No.
Oh, see, 10.
So you have 9, 10, whatever.
I have to get up
Still
for 10.
in double figures. And Paul and I will be there first day of August.
So next weekend.
Wakamoto Sales Night.
Yep. Yes.
John Poor Memorial.
Yes. I just dropped the trophies off to Jamie yesterday.
Cool. I chatted with Paul yesterday. He's ripping and ready to go. It's fun, actually. Of course, we have the best seats in the house.
They are pretty good up there.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
High and above. High and
high and dry.
High and dry. Even if it's raining, it's dry up
Dust
there.
free.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we have to open the window so you can really enjoy the sound of the track. We went to NASCAR years ago. We had tickets from some deal we were doing with NASCAR people. So we sat up in the boxes, right? And it was cold in there. It was 90 degrees outside.
So they have the AC at 30.
And you can't hear the race.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather be able to smell it and hear it and all that.
I said that to a guy, says, an older fella, and when I say older, he was in his 80s, almost 90. And I said, well, he said it hadn't been there for a few years. The dust bothered. I said, oh, come on down. I said, I'll try to find a place in the tower. I said, you can sit there and watch it. He says, no. He said, I'll pass on that. I said, why? He says, because I want to smell the fumes. And he said, I like to, hear the noise.
Yeah.
I said, okay.
Well, our booths aren't soundproof. You can still hear the noise compared to NASCAR's booths.
Yeah, but not.
It's not the same, but at least you can hear it.
It's muffled a little bit more.
Yeah, so we open the window. All right, so we should get it in tomorrow night.
It'll be a good show tomorrow night.
Should be.
And one addition to tomorrow night is the Sportsman Limited Modifieds will be back in action tomorrow night. They were supposed to have the night off. But we missed a couple weeks or whatever, and
there was interest.
There was a couple guys called me up and with a lot of interest, whatever. And I said, hey, if we can get everybody, on board with it, and they actually went to work on it and whatever, and called me back, told me who they couldn't get a hold of. So I reached out and got a hold of them, and oh yeah, no problem, we'll be there, So the limited modifieds will be there also tomorrow night. So that'll be a good show. Yep. Plus an enduro.
The Dirt Stock Madness.
Dirt Stock Madness.
Yeah, the next 2 madnesses are going to be a little funky on the sign up because we're collecting the money the day of, but we'll get through it. So, because we usually we have them bring their lap sponsorships in the week before, so I can get all of them listed for the program and figure out who's on the poll for the first segment. But because of the rains, they're going to this week and next week is Coops. They'll have to give them to me the day of, and then after that, we'll do a list of all the sponsors for the announcers to announce so that they have that information. So it just won't happen the day of, but they will get recognized.
So we're talking about the advantage that we have sitting at the Ridge when we broadcast. You're also way upstairs.
During the features, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought you've been talking over the years. You were tucked away in some dark alley.
I was until 2 years ago down in the pits. So I start out
doing what you do now.
Yeah, I start out in the
Why?
pits. I start out in the pits and then move up to the tower.
Yeah.
So, well, my niece went and had a baby, so we lost her upstairs, and then we had another girl that did a great job, but she likes being in the pit booth doing the signing people in. So the computer can be a little bit. You have to be on top of it. So some people just don't like computers.
So where you're signing everybody in down there?
I
before you
sign
go
all the
upstairs?
drivers in, and then I go upstairs. I'm training a nice young man, and he's doing a great job. And he might even have to. He usually goes up and does the hot laps. He makes sure the system's working, and hopefully he'll be doing probably the heat races tomorrow night because I think we're a little light in places for help.
So you pick up on that nice young man. To get that.
He's 15. He's a nice young man.
Yeah, cool.
So
what happens when you have the meeting with drivers? Because you have a meeting down there too, right? Right before the race. What's usually said?
I just, information about what's going on for the night, whatever, how things.
Let's be honest here.
Depends.
How things are happening, whatever, and asking if they got any questions, whatever. So.
We can yell at them a little bit. We never tell them they did a good job the week before, because if you do that, then they are terrible that night. Every time we tell a division they did a great job the week before, they can't get one lap in.
Well, the last time we were there, you were trying to get the attention of one of the drivers, and I think you actually came out of the flag stand onto the track. Paul says, well, this is interesting.
The paw. We used to say in
Yeah,
Cape.
that's right.
Yeah, the paw. If you see the paw coming, you know you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm. He ended up doing well. He was one of the top three, or he won the race.
Yeah.
All you have to do is talk to him.
Sometimes you got to get their attention.
Yeah. Well, if anybody can, you can. And of course, you've got a lot of experience going around and round. So, what did you think of the car show at the North Haverhill Fair the other day?
I thought it was a great car show.
You guys had what, 3 or 4 cars there?
4.
4. Okay.
4. I thought it was a great car show. I don't know if they did have the 100, but they said they were close to 100 entries.
Yeah.
So that was great.
It is.
And the weather was great for it. A lot of neat looking cars.
Yeah. All different.
A lot of different
really
things.
Neat. Yeah.
It's interesting who brings in what, and you look at them, God, I wouldn't think they'd have something like that, but they do.
So true.
And some old cars that guys have found and tinkered up. There was an old Pontiac there. I'm thinking it's something like a 1940, something like that. Is on I think it was aftermarket frame. Well, not aftermarket frame, but later style frame. But it looked neat.
Mm-hmm.
It had a big motor in it, whatever. And then Bill Jostler had his '57 Chevrolet 4-door sedan there, and that was pretty neat. And that was completely original.
Really?
Yes, that looked very, very nice.
It was the first car he had it. He drove it in the wintertime.
That wasn't the same car.
No, but it was
exactly.
the same. Yeah, same color and everything. It was the first car he had when he was in the service, I think he said.
I really like the original Cobras from the 60s, the Carroll Shelby. And there was one there.
Yep.
It's probably a kit car. I'm not sure if that was original, but.
Maybe Phil was there.
Phil wasn't there.
I was going to say.
It was over by where they were checking in. It was over by where they were checking you in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because we know his are all original, right?
Yeah.
Really?
Phil Bell's got a few good cars.
Yeah. That's why we were surprised he wasn't there, because usually, they only come out when it's perfect condition.
Yeah, he doesn't like to get him out there when it's raining or anything like that.
There's a chance of rain. There's not
because he'll go home and he'll spend 4 or 5 hours with rags and everything and have him on the lift. Of course, he runs a garage, so he's on the lift and he's wiping them all down and everything else. And he's pretty particular about his car. So that's great,
Yeah. If that's your passion, you take care of them.
There's some people that haul them in because they don't want to drive them.
Right.
I like to drive them.
Yeah.
you don't realize how well off you are. Maybe sometimes driving your newer vehicle, get in one of them old things and take a ride for a while.
Yeah.
The funniest thing is when you're backing up, keep looking in the center console
Yeah.
and there's no camera.
Oh, you get used to that, don't you? Yeah.
This isn't helping me at all.
Yeah. I try to
it
keep.
takes a second for it to register.
I try to keep the miles down on hours. I don't know why, but I don't know. Should drive it more often.
Run it.
Yeah. That's what they
Isn't
say.
going to do any good.
No, that's what they say.
Yeah. Trouble is, most of the stuff, yours included, doesn't get run enough.
So then when you want to run it, things
They do
happen.
need to get run.
They do need to get run. It's worthwhile to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I sit up in the barn and collect moisture and this and that. And next thing you got a little water and fuel, and carburetors don't work good. You put the dry gas to them, and then you're taking the carburetor apart, cleaning that. You need to run them a little bit more.
So do you guys have absolute favorite car, other than what you already have?
What other than what we have?
Yeah. Of course, it's great too that you've kept some of your race cars.
That's pretty neat to have them.
It is.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any old favorite car. They're all favorites. But
Yeah. Yeah, it was nice to see almost 100 cars there the other day.
Yes.
And no two alike.
No, I don't think that. No,
Really?
not even in paint color.
No. I mean, you got Mustangs, Corvettes, and
Yeah.
that type of stuff, and whatever, but they're all different. Paint
Model
scheme.
A's.
Yeah.
40 stuff, 50 stuff, 60 stuff.
Yeah. Big car show coming up at the Waterford Racetrack, coming up August 15th.
Yes.
It used to be Darlings.
Darlings,
They're
yeah.
part of it this year, but it's going to be up in Waterford this year.
Yeah.
It's also our old timers night at Bear Ridge, where
Okay.
we'll have all the old race cars there that were at Waterford. Hopefully, a lot of them will be at our race.
Okay. So we'll be talking about that more as we get closer to that date.
Yeah,
Meanwhile-
that's what 9 to 3 or 10 to 3 or something like that. I don't. I see the flyer on it, and actually I got one. I'll have our announcers talk about it a little bit up there.
Sure.
Craig Dowling has always been good with racing and good with everybody, and had that car show for a long time up there. And,
Yeah.
I'm glad they got it going again.
Yeah, definitely. So
Yep.
it's going to be in Waterford at the racetrack. All right, final comments. Racing tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, Bear Ridge Speedway. Should be a good night.
Montshire Farms.
Montshire Farms.
Okay.
North Haverhill. Know where your beef comes from.
Yep. All right. So next week, we'll have a report. Right? 3 weeks.
God willing.
All right. And then remind
We
our
will have a
listeners-
report next week.
And of course, Paul and myself will be there on August 1st, Wakamoto Sales Night. All right.
Thank you, and thank you, Wells River Chevrolet. We appreciate that.
In Bradford, Farmway invites you to shop their in-stock Lazy Boy furniture. Farmway has plenty of styles and colors to choose from, something to fit everybody, including pet-friendly fabrics. Check the prices, you won't be disappointed. Shop in a friendly, no-pressure atmosphere, and if you don't see it, Farmway can order it. Delivery and removal is available. Just ask about the rates. At Farmway, they take immense pride in offering a wide selection of top-quality brands in footwear, clothing, camping, and hunting gear, furniture, and gifts. Shop locally in Bradford at Farmway.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, mostly sunny after any early fog. Highs in the upper 70s to lower 80s, winds variable to southwest around 5 miles an hour. Mostly clear overnight, lows from the mid-40s to around 50. Saturday, areas of valley fog early, then mostly sunny with highs in the low to mid-80s. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
Thank you. At 6:58, the updated look at the weekend weather, good weather for racing, and also the North Haverhill Fair, just in time, and of course brought to you this time around by Farmway in Bradford, where they're open Monday through Saturday from 8:30 to 5:30, Fridays until 8 p.m., and they are online at vermontgear.com. Yeah, getting out onto the water, they can help you out there. And if you're getting ready for the fall hunt, they can also help you out there. And they also have that great furniture that doesn't blow over and all that stuff and all kinds of colors and designs. Be sure to stop in and check it out. At Farmway, be sure and do it soon. Well, we gave away the Xanadu tickets last hour to Diane Phipps of Newbury. The Xanadu tickets that are good on Thursday, July 30th at 2 p.m., at Weathervane Theater in Whitefield. Now we're going to be giving away some tickets for Friday, July 31st. This show will be at 7:30 p.m., and it's for Rent. Rent will be on Friday, July 31st at 7:30. It's a Pulitzer Prize-winning rock musical that redefined a generation. Bursting with heart, humor, and urgency, Rent celebrates connection and chosen family powered by unforgettable songs like Seasons of Love and Take Me or Leave Me. And we're giving those away. First caller, 802-757-2773. Right here at your country, WYKR Haverhill, WTWN Wells River, and W286DE Wells River at 105.1. Compliments of Weather Vane Theater in Whitefield and your country, WYKR. We're getting set to look at the 7 o'clock news. We'll be coming out of that chatting with Charlie Gray at Four Corners Farm, South Newbury.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. President Trump is slapping new tariffs on countries around the world, including the European Union. More from Mark Mayfield.
The sweeping tariffs took effect at midnight, just as the previous 10% temporary tariffs expired. The White House says the new 10 to 12% tariffs are tied to countries' imports, goods made with forced labor. Trump has previously said the tariffs aren't going away after the Supreme Court struck down duties he imposed last year. The president has consistently praised the tariffs as a great mechanism to level the playing field between the U.S. and the rest of the world.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio says Iran will pay for attacking U.S. forces. Rubio issued the warning Thursday at a summit of Asian nations in the Philippines. The warning was in response to a statement made by Iran's foreign minister that Tehran's policy for war with the U.S. is an eye for an eye. Rubio then warned that President Trump's policy is an head for an eye. The Justice Department is withdrawing subpoenas issued to several New York Times reporters earlier this month. Jonathan O'Halloran reports.
According to the New York Times, the DOJ sought phone and text messaging records from reporters and, in some cases, those of family members in connection to the department's probe of the outlet's reporting on the new Air Force One jet gifted by Qatar. The Trump administration was pushing to identify the confidential government sources who spoke with reporters about the jet's security capabilities. However, the DOJ announced plans to withdraw the subpoenas during a hearing in a Manhattan courtroom Thursday, in which a judge was considering whether to grant the Times' motion to dismiss the request.
SpaceX will try today for a third time to launch its massive Starship rocket. The mission was previously planned for July 16th, but scrubbed at the last minute because of an issue with a number of the rocket's Raptor engines. Thursday's launch attempt was called off due to weather. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Getting Charlie on the phone there, do a little chit-chat before we get on the air live, and let's go to South Newbury and actually chat with Charlie and see how things are going down on the farm. Morning, Charlie.
Good morning. What a beautiful week we've had, and right now it's, I'm sitting out on the deck, the fog's trying to come in, and the sun's trying to shine at the same time, and it's nice and cool this morning, so it's untypical July day, but I'll take it.
Yeah. Warm during the day, chilly at night. Can't ask for anything more than that.
Yeah, I'll take that over, 72 at night and 100% humidity. So
yeah, Butch and April just in here. We talking about the Bear Ridge Speedway race report, but we also are talking how dry it is right now. Actually,
yes, I'm getting like flashbacks from last year. It was down flail mowing around the corn, seeing how it was, and I hit a gopher mound, and oh my God, it was nothing but pure sand and. Put up a dust cloud you can see for miles. I was like, uh-oh, are we getting back into the stretch where we have to start pumping water again? But there's look like there's something coming next week.
Yeah. All right, so things are ripening up nicely. Let's find out what's going on with sweet corn and some of the other things there.
So, yeah, the sweet corn, it was kind of it was a gamble. I planted it back in April 14th, so it's over 90 days in the ground, and it got flooded a few times, and the problems I'm dealing, I kind of feel like sometimes growing is dealing with the four horsemen of the apocalypse, and that, every week there's a different problem, set in front of you, and you have to figure out how to solve it.
Yeah.
From flood to drought to, low nitrogen issues, and I've covered all those, and this week's we got red-winged blackbirds that are really bad because must have been in one of last week's rainstorms, it's an earworm moth that comes in for the sweet corn. It usually mostly comes from a southern storm or a east to west or westerly storm from the west. But I didn't think we had much of them yet. But sure enough, it's just in our first couple plantings. The rest is all fine. But
yeah. And
so I'm fighting the ripening corn with the red-winged blackbirds.
Yeah, there's always something going on. And the July strawberries, I assume they've come to an end, but you're looking at your fall-bearing ones at this point.
No, we're still picking, but
are
I think we'll have them through the weekend, and then probably middle of it, because of the one field. They're coming to a close, yes. And I think there's like one or two more picks out there, and then that'll be done with that, because it's just it's getting too slow to pick them right now.
Okay, so how deep into the season will you have strawberries available for our listeners?
So we're actually going to be the next crop, which is our everbearers. Those are all in green fruit, or they're just going from Foreman berries to green fruit right now, and those ripen a little faster than the June crop. So in about 10 days, we'll start skim picking, and we'll have on and off. We'll pick the July fruiting ones this weekend, and then probably won't pick them again until we'll see what we have middle of next week, and then then it'll be about a week until these other ones come in, and then once these come in, then we'll have fruit strawberries right through the fall. So,
all right. So a lot going on with
that's been a real positive with all these cool mornings and cool warmer afternoons. Is these fall strawberries, they're all from the coast of California, so this is exactly what they love. They love chilly mornings and hot afternoons.
Excellent.
So that's exciting.
All right. What's going on with tomato plants?
All right, so these, we don't talk a lot about them, but we should, because they've just been down there kicking off tomatoes now for almost 5 weeks. And some people they'll plant the greenhouse full of tomatoes, and then they'll let them grow to the top, because there's only about 10 feet of growing space inside the greenhouse. So then they'll cut them and they'll ripen everything off, and then they'll harvest the plant, and then they'll replant their next batch. We're not really into that. We really love letting ours down, so it's they've already been let down 2 or 3 times, but that's all work that's going behind the scenes of letting the tomato plants down, cutting off all the old leaves and picking and fertilizing and watering, and that's all happening, behind the scenes. It's kind of neat to look into the greenhouses now, and some of the plants are already 15 feet long and have been let down a little bit. So it's we have a string that goes right up against the vine of the tomato plant, and when it gets to the top, there's a spool of hopefully enough twine to last the whole season, and then you'll bring that plant down halfway, and you'll take all the leaves off the bottom, and then it will start again. And in about 2 or 3 weeks, you'll have to let it get down again. But all that's happening, on these plants that we keep all season long. And then, but some things that we can't keep forever is like our cucumber house. So the cucumbers we planted back in April 1st, those are starting to wind down to the end, and those houses we reserve for maintenance. So it's the one right next to the road with the vent in the roof. So we got over the next month, we got a pretty big project of getting all the cucumbers out, and we're going to put new beds in it and put new plastic on it. So that's kind of a big project for this fall.
Yeah. Okay. So I assume some of your crops, they come and go. So you rededicate that space to a new crop for late summer, fall?
Yes. So we'll, as I said, we're switching to outside cukes for a little bit, but then we're also we transitioned some of our early seeded vegetables that we had in the house, our radishes and beet greens and spinach that we planted inside. Those are now all gone, and now we'll transition those houses over to either cucumbers or a late pepper crop or tomatoes or something like that.
Well, we tried to get around and get the blueberries this time of the year. Teresa and I stopped by Four Corners Farm earlier this week, and boy, your blueberries were awesome, Charlie.
Yes, with all that rain we had in June and the sun being just right, we actually got some size on them this year. You could, if you hunt and find some, you can find some that are over the size of a quarter. So that makes filling a quart pretty easy.
Yeah, definitely. And what about the melons at Four Corners Farm, Charlie?
Yeah, another, this one of our signature items that, we've actually been saving melon seed for, it's probably been, we've been doing at least 40 years, and we actually got it from my grandfather, so he's been saving melon seed for, probably 40 years before that. So the melons we have here at Four Corners Farm are special kind that have been passed down from our family generation, so it's a little niche thing. They're harder to grow because they're a hot season crop, so they're not really liking these cold mornings. They'd rather have it, 70 degrees and 80% humidity, but they're doing good. I think I saw a few developing last week, so I'd say probably within 10 days we'll have our first pick of melons.
Do the melons require a lot of water?
Yes, they do. Lucky we can put them on drip, so it's easy enough to run the drip when we run the raspberries or one of the other crops.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, they do require quite a bit of water, especially on sandier soil.
All right, and then I assume processing, pickles and canned tomatoes, sauces, all that.
Yes, that's that is now you should be looking at your pantry or looking at your freezer and figuring out what you can put into that freezer or pantry every week. And this week it's tomatoes. We're selling our canning boxes of tomatoes and bushels of cucumbers. We actually just put pickles, and my wife made relish, so we'll have that for the winter. And then another thing, and we talked about it on the radio last week, is peas. Peas are coming. I'd say they're the same thing. They're about maybe less than a week before we're done with those. So if you haven't put peas in the freezer, this is the time to definitely do that.
Nice. All right, Four Corners Farm, South Newbury, open every day, 9 to 6 right now. Wow, that's a pretty good update, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I love doing this, and I really appreciate you guys at WYKR having us on and talking every week. And, it's nice to be able to inform the community.
It certainly is. Well, enjoy the weekend, and remind our listeners, get out there and pick some blueberries this weekend.
For sure. Come on down. You can pick blueberries and, or maybe eat a quart of strawberries. Or the farm's a wonderful place to be.
Yeah, it is. Charlie, enjoy the weekend.
You too.
Thank you much. There you go. Charlie Gray for the Gray family, Four Corners Farm, South Newbury. We're nudging 11 minutes after 7. Stephen, John, and friends. We're at 50, heading for 80 today. I want to remind you again, we're giving away a couple of tickets. We did Xanadu. That show coming up Thursday, July 30th at 2 p.m. And then we gave away tickets to Rent. That's coming up Friday, July 31st at 7:30. And we're talking about the Weather Vane Theater in Whitefield. And Diane Phipps won the Xanadu tickets, and Rent tickets went to Don Lazara. Congratulations. Tick, Tick, Boom are the next tickets we'll be giving away sometime between now and 9 o'clock this morning, so stick around. You could be the next winner. Right now, the weather, it's being brought to you by Crosstown Motors in Littleton, Crosstown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. They are home of the big deal.
Hi, it's Kevin from Crosstown Motors in Littleton, New Hampshire. Let's make this the summer you drive home a brand new truck. Right now, we're going all in on new Ram 1500s with massive savings. Up to 20% off MSRP on select new 2026 models. Pair that with America's best full-size truck warranty, 10 years or 100,000 miles of limited powertrain coverage, and you're getting the best truck, the best warranty, and our best price period. For example, save $15,177 on a loaded 2026 Ram 1500 Rebel Crew Cab, stock number DT26206, or $10,516 on the Laramie Crew Cab, stock number DT26188. Even our nicely equipped Express Crew Cab, stock number DT26122, is $5,340 off. New trucks are moving fast. Come in today, beat the summer heat, and drive away happy with transparent pricing and no hidden fees ever. That's a big deal at Crosstown Motors, your Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram headquarters right here in majestic Littleton, New Hampshire.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, mostly sunny after any early fog. Highs in the upper 70s to lower 80s, winds variable to southwest around 5 miles an hour. Mostly clear overnight, lows from the mid-40s to around 50. Saturday, areas of valley fog early, then mostly sunny with highs in the low to mid-80s. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
Thank you, Lawrence. Coming up shortly after 7:30, chatting with Mark Breen at the Fairbanks Museum. 13 after 7, 50 degrees, clear blue sunny skies, heading for the low 80s. That's the latest weather heading into the weekend. Great weather for the 82nd Annual North Haverhill Fair and also racing at Bear Ridge Speedway tomorrow night at 6. Brought to you by Crosstown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Littleton, home of the big deal. You are now up to date on the weather.
The Patriots all in on training camp. First team workout tomorrow. Tight end Hunter Henry, long-term veteran, anxious to get another season underway.
Yeah, I mean, we're excited to continue to keep improving. There's a lot to improve on. There's a lot to look back on and say, we could do that again and we could do this better. We're always trying to improve, man, and we're trying to be some of the top guys and lead this team and be the guys on the offense that, they can look at and depend on and rely on. So I think that's what we're trying to come out here and do.
Hunter Henry. Cornerback Christian Gonzalez. New contract is an issue, but of course he is eager to play the game.
Yeah, we're always together. It's kind of like a whole little brothership. The whole DB room. We all come together, but especially me. We're kind of just bonding off the field, so we know we can come in and work and grind and just enjoy it and have fun, and then we can push each other, and we know how to help each other.
Patriots cornerback Christian Gonzalez. Patriots practice open to the public tomorrow at 10:30.
All right, so we're honored to have here in the studio with us Casey Johnson of True Pest and Rodent Solutions. Casey, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm really excited because I see your business card directory. I see you in the paper every week, and you do a lot with pest and rodent solutions. But you also do something as well, which I find extremely interesting because our mutual friend Steve Batchel was bragging about you the other day, showing these photos that you do. And you say it's basement vapor barriers?
That's correct, yeah. So it's a vapor barrier. 9 times out of 10, it's in a crawl space that has a dirt floor.
Right.
And basically the idea of this is air quality, mold prevention, mold remediation if it's to that state. But all in all, wonderful service to have. It will completely change the way your room feels above.
Right, and also too, I know there's a lot of stuff that we're breathing in, especially if it's an old house. Also with newer houses, is that they're actually newer houses just don't breathe at all, really, because of how quote unquote energy efficient they are. But you do both, right? You work with all types of houses.
That's correct, yeah. And 9 times out of 10, this type of service happens in an older home. A lot of these are going in during construction below the slab on grade these days. This is more of a repair of an older structure.
Right. And I know when you do that, I've seen those photos where it's, as you say, it's one of those like really old houses where you'll see like a brick foundation or a rock foundation, and there might be like two light bulbs that are kind of hanging from like the small ceiling, and you crawl right in there, huh?
I do. I have to. Yeah. So to begin this type of thing, you gotta clean it out. You gotta start with a clean out. You gotta get down to bare bones and start from square one and just clean it right out.
And what is that a process that you do as well, or is that something that the expectation the homeowner does before you show up?
Nope, I'll do it all from day one to the last day. Clean it out, redo it, put in your vapor barrier, and I'll even install dehumidifiers depending on the air quality, because I'll test your air quality as well. Depending on what we get for a humidity reading is whether or not we'll end up installing that type of thing or not. 9 times out of 10, the vapor barrier will keep that space at a humidity level that is, within 30 to 50%, which is where you want it.
Right. And that's something that we've, my bedroom is in our basement, and it's a finished basement, but I always, in the wintertime, I'm running humidifiers. In the summertime, I'm running dehumidifiers.
Of course.
And like you said, that happy medium, that happy spot is to be below 50%.
Correct. Between 30 and 50% is where you want your humidity. It's not going to allow mold to grow and things like that. It's where you get your best humidity level.
Right.
It's going to protect your structure, things like that. Your floor joists are not going to be sweating under there. That's really where you want it, is between 30 and 50%.
And when you give me some examples of houses that you've actually worked in where it involved a lot more work than you were planning.
Yeah, so if you have an established mold problem going on, that tends to be a little bit more in-depth as far as a service, because there's going to be some time in between liquid treatments of that mold to make sure that we get that under control prior to installing your finished product, your vapor barrier.
Right. And what's, as the overlap goes, when you go in there, somebody hires you to actually put in that basement vapor barriers, do you go in there and you see mice and you see some things you're like, actually, I do take care of pests and rodents as well?
I tend to always find ways to improve their service, whether it's, noticing other things while I'm under there, during the initial inspection. I'm always looking for things that are conducive to pests, conducive to moisture, anything that I can do to help you out.
Right. So how do people reach out to you, and how do they know that they should be reaching out to you?
You can reach out to me through a phone number. It's 802-261-5761. I am online, www.truepestandrodensolutionsllc.com. You can also find me on Facebook. Those are all great ways to get a hold of me. And I am a one-man show, So bear with me. I will get back to you within 24 hours.
But when you go into situations, as we mentioned, with taking care of some rodent issues, which seem to be popping in mostly in the fall, is when people mostly see mice and rodents?
It all depends.
Yeah.
Sanitation plays a big role in that. The age of the home plays a big role in that. I do have customers that have year-round mouse problems that always need attention. That type of thing is usually done on a quarterly basis, depending on their issue. You will have customers that have old houses. Their sanitation may not be that great. They may always have some sort of rodent pressure due to the way they live.
Right.
However, I have a really good success rate getting control of these, difficult rodent situations. And it's something I do every day.
Right. And how big of a rodent or pest do you deal with?
So I'll do anything from mice to rats, all the way up to wildlife and exclusions.
Okay.
I also do bat exclusions at this particular time of the year that the state of Vermont and New Hampshire will allow me to. So basically anything pest-wise, I'm your guy.
Right.
Yeah.
And do you work in Vermont and New Hampshire?
I do. I work in northern Vermont, northern New Hampshire. My core area being the Connecticut River Valley, but I do go 91 all the way to the Canadian border.
Wow. Okay. And so what kind of made you start working with like the basement and vapor barriers? Is that something where you saw a need that wasn't being addressed?
That's correct. Yeah. So I spend a lot of time in crawl spaces, and anything I can do to make my experience down there better got me thinking about it. And it's something that I used to do, waterproofing, vapor barriers, things like that. And as far as I'm concerned, it falls under that umbrella. Pest, mold. It's all things that I can handle.
Right. Once again, we're talking to Casey Johnson of True Pest and Rodent Solutions, who's also mentioning that does a lot of work with basement vapor barriers. And definitely for our listeners out there, check out all the work that Casey does through his Facebook page or through his website. You do amazing work. I've seen those before and after photos, and it is pretty fantastic.
It is. It's instant gratification when you look at the start and finished product. It's pretty impressive.
Right. All right. Thank you so much, Casey. Any final comments?
No, I'm looking forward to hearing from some folks that may need my assistance.
Excellent. All right. Thank you so much, Casey.
Thanks, Josh.
At 22 minutes after 7, glad you could be with us this morning. Steve and Sean and friends right up until 9 this morning. We're sitting at 50, heading for the low 80s. Nice weather is in the forecast today and tomorrow. Let's take a look at it. Compliments of your friends at Woodsville Power Equipment, Bobcat of Woodsville, and, of course, all the other great equipment that they have right here in Woodsville at Bobcat of Woodsville, and also Woodsville Power Equipment with sales service, parts, repairs, and a whole lot more. They're at 4942 Dartmouth College Highway at 747-2322.
Husqvarna string trimmers are the ultimate choice when adding the finishing touch to the edges of the lawn or trimming grass in the area that is hard to reach. At Woodsville Power Equipment Tool and Rental, their battery and electric string trimmers, combi trimmers, and gas string trimmers are powerful, easy to use. Regardless if you're looking for a grass trimmer for your suburban lawn or you're looking for professional string trimmers for commercial use, Husqvarna string trimmers deliver results to be proud of. You'll find the best grass trimmer to suit your needs locally at Woodsville Power Equipment Tool and Rental.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, mostly sunny after any early fog. Highs in the upper 70s to lower 80s, winds variable to southwest around 5 miles an hour. Mostly clear overnight, lows from the mid-40s to around 50. Saturday, areas of valley fog early, then mostly sunny with highs in the low to mid-80s. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
Thank you, Lawrence. 23 minutes after 7, and that's a look at the latest weather. And we're moments away from chatting with the Fairbanks Museum right after birthdays and anniversaries, shortly after 7:30 this morning. Brought to you by your friends at Woodsville Power Equipment. You'll be amazed at what they have to offer you. They're at 4942 Dartmouth College Highway. Stop in, check it out. They have all kinds of equipment, and they have a website, and they're also at Facebook. So if you need some information, you could go there. Better yet, stop in to 4942 Dartmouth College Highway and see what they have to offer you at Woodsville Power Equipment.
This music's all about you.
You ever think about what makes a good neighbor? Good neighbors listen. They respect your time and they follow through. When you're making big decisions about your home, your business, your future, you don't need a bank that jumps straight to answers. You need one that starts with you. Here's Lorenzo Wilhite, President and CEO of Wells River Savings Bank.
We really just try to slow things down and listen. Every situation is different, and that matters.
Here, that's where everything begins.
Wells River Savings Bank is right here in the community, so we get to know people, not just their accounts, their story.
Whether you stop into a branch or bank online, you'll find real people focused on getting it right.
When you take the time to understand someone, things just work out better for them and for the whole community.
That's what good neighbors do. Wells River Savings Bank, your good neighbor bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, online at wellsriversavings.com.
Shopping locally at PTO's Auto Repair in Bradford not only helps the business that you're patronizing, but it also contributes to the success of our entire small local communities. If you work in the Bradford area and want a hassle-free vehicle appointment, PTO's Auto Repair will come to your place of employment, pick up your vehicle, do the work, then return it to you. Give them a call at 802-222-4774 to schedule an appointment. At PTO's Auto Repair in Bradford, you will get the one-on-one auto repair experience you deserve.
All right, we're coming up pushing 7:30. We're moments away from taking a look at birthdays and anniversaries, and still coming up this half hour. We'll come out of that chatting with Mark Breen at the Fairbanks Museum with some interesting statistics about our summer weather around here. And then Ted Cooper, we'll be talking with him. He'll be checking in from Wells River Chevrolet to give us an update as to what's happening there. Right now, though, let's take a look at the birthdays and anniversaries on this Friday, July 24th. Seems like we were just talking about the 4th of July. July 24th already. 2026. Looks like happy birthday wishes today to Sandy Elliott, Elijah Clifford, Cole Puffer. Happy birthday with love from the whole family. And Grant Bunnell celebrates today. And we have a happy anniversary wish to Lloyd and Chris Steves today. And that's it. It's brought to you by the Swenson Insurance Agency in Bradford. They do it each and every day of the year. They bring you birthdays and anniversaries. We like to see yours a couple of days in advance, so get those to us as soon as you can. And be sure and thank the Swenson Insurance Agency. And if you need an insurance quote or have insurance questions, the Swenson Insurance Agency is standing by right there in Bradford. Celebrating today, happy birthday to Grant Bunnell, Elijah Clifford, Sandy Elliott, and also to Cole Puffer with love from the whole family. And happy anniversary today to Lloyd and Chris Steves. Friday, July 24th, 2026.
In many areas, wild animals are a serious traffic safety concern. Stay safe with these tips. While driving, scan the road and shoulders of the road ahead. Look for yellow road signs warning of high danger areas. Use extra caution when traveling during dawn and dusk. Animals are most active during these times. At night, use high beams if there's no oncoming traffic. Be on the lookout for reflecting eyes. Remember, deer are herd animals. Where there's one, there's usually more nearby. If a collision is unavoidable, apply the brakes and steer straight. Let up on the brakes just before impact, allowing the front of your vehicle to rise slightly, reducing the risk of the animal striking the windshield. Take it from me and MMG, protecting your piece of the world.
The Swenson Insurance Agency of Bradford is a family-owned business that has been serving Vermont and New Hampshire since 1960. Service is their best policy at the Swenson Insurance Agency, Bradford.
This is the time of the morning where we take a few minutes to chat with Mark Breen at the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury. Good morning, Mark.
And good morning to you, Stephen.
All right, what's your 10 cents on the weather that we've had so far this summer? It doesn't seem like it's been very warm.
Well, we've actually kind of gone back and forth a little bit. June averaged just about a degree and a half above the average. There were certainly plenty of cool spells during the month of June. And then late June and July, boy, it stayed kind of warm and toasty there for about 3 or 4 weeks. And then it suddenly went away again.
Yeah.
And so this month specifically, and I would say through this point, we're running about 1.5 degrees above average, so very similar to June that way. Most of the warmth actually has been during the daytime. We've had some fairly warm days, but also some cooler nights. And in fact, one of the things that has been showing up, a couple of nights that have dropped into the 40s, and although that's cool, no question, 40s are not actually uncommon during the month of July, and that kind of got me curious, because, it's certainly it's comfortable out there. Some folks really enjoy that cool, fresh, kind of sleeping weather type of thing. So I was looking back at the museum's records, and of course they go right back to 1894, so there's plenty of records to look at. And on the average, we're seeing about 3 nights every July that drop down into the 40s. That's the average. And so this month we had 1 night that was 50 and a couple of nights in the 40s, so really essentially close to the average. But it made me curious because it seemed to me that, those were fairly cool nights, but it's actually gotten warmer at night. And, of course, part of that just kind of fitting in with the whole narrative of climate change. But there's a few other details that I found interesting. One, if you go back, not only are there more nights in the 40s, let's say you go back 50, 60 years ago, so back in the 1960s and 70s, they had, on the average, 6 to 7 nights in July that were in the 40s. But the other thing that happens is that humidity itself has been increasing, and humid nights, as many of us can attest to, humid nights, they don't get very cool, and so humidity's been going up, and so that may be at least part of the explanation in terms of this climate change idea is that the air becoming more humid keeps the nights a little bit warmer, and so when we get these cool, refreshing nights, folks are really enjoying them.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, it was cool this morning. We saw temperatures in a lot of areas, I guess, in the mid-40s, didn't we?
Yeah, saw 42 up in Jefferson, New Hampshire, so pretty chilly stuff.
So. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the summertime and some of the averages that you see at the Fairbanks Museum relative to what you just said.
Yeah, in fact, it's kind of interesting. Here we are talking about all this cool weather.
Yeah.
But this week is actually the warmest week on the average on the museum's record. In fact, it peaks very specifically, but the differences are we're talking about tenths of a degree, but still July 23rd, so yesterday, the absolute peak of summer as far as our average temperatures go. Now, again, averages made up of those big swings back and forth, and this year we had our hottest weather back around the 4th of July, as I think folks would probably remember. We were up in the mid-90s back then, but this is on the average, warmest week. So average highs right around 82 degrees here at the museum. Nighttime average is dropping down to 58 degrees, and so you can see why 40s will be considered cool. And yet at the same time, here we are talking about, this is the warmest it's going to get, but August doesn't cool off all that much. The average high at the end of August only drops down about 5 degrees, a set high of 77, and the nights settle back down to 54. In fact, August is close enough to July in terms of temperature that we have about 6 out of 10 Julys are warmer than August, but 4 out of 10 Augusts are warmer than July. So for folks, if you've been hearing about this cool weather and maybe you've got, a place on the lake or, got a pool and so forth, and you want some warm weather, don't give up on summer yet. We've still got all of August yet to go.
I know that you're an avid hunter, like to get out there in the woods and all that stuff. Seems like we've seen a lot of wildlife, especially deer and some bear this spring and summer. Does the weather have any influence on that you know of?
Well, I don't know in terms of sightings and that kind of thing. I think a lot of that may have to do simply with population changes.
Yeah.
And that can be very localized, in a span of a few hundred acres. All of a sudden that would change. But the other thing that, of course, animals need water, and so it has been drier than average this month. And I can't imagine that the animals aren't seeking out, water sources and that type of thing. And I think the other thing that I know influences animals in general, things like those very warm nights. Let's face it, they can't exactly take their fur coats off this time of year, so they're looking for they're looking for some cool spots, just like you and I are looking for some cool spots on those warm days.
All right. Tropical activity and what's going on with our night sky and the moon and all that stuff.
Yeah, so, folks may have heard a few headlines about Tropical Storm Bertha kind of running itself right along the Gulf Coast, giving a fair amount of rain to portions of Louisiana and now moving into northeast Texas, and some gusty winds. But the storm, because it was right next to the coastline, it didn't really, get too strong. One of the things that happens with hurricanes is they don't like to be over land. And so the minute they start encountering land, they kind of slow down. They can often release a lot of rain and that type of thing, but it never reached hurricane status, so it stayed tropical storm status. I think the top winds were around 60 miles per hour, and like I said, it's now falling apart over northeast Texas. And the rest of the tropics aren't very active right now, but that's not unusual. Here we are. July is kind of the early part of the season. Things really ramp up later in August and into September. So really the last week of August, first 2 to 3 weeks of September, that's prime season for the tropics, which, I suppose it seems, a little bit odd just in terms of the hottest weather we just talked about, average warmest weather right now. But the tropics, the water actually continues to warm up. Even though the air temperatures are cooling off a little bit, the water continues to warm, and so the water reaches its peak temperature late August and September, and that's when the hurricanes reach their peak. So, and you mentioned about the skies and so forth. Some folks may have been noticing this week, because we've had some clear nights, the moon getting bigger over in the south. It's kind of low in the south, but it's there. And so next week we have the full moon for July, often known as the full buck moon. That'll be Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. And I suppose we could say, unfortunately, it does interfere with some meteors. On the other hand, this particular meteor shower, so there is a meteor shower in July into early August. It's not the famous one that you're looking forward to, hopefully in August, but late July, early August, we have something called the Delta Aquariid meteor shower. Not as many meteors, not as bright, all that sort of thing, but if you happen to be out, even on a moonlit night, you might catch one of those brighter meteors zipping on through. So here's why I say it's not necessarily unfortunate. With a full moon now, it means that the moon will not be in the sky on August 11th and 12th, the peak of the Perseid meteor shower, which is much more productive. In fact, we can sometimes see as many as 50 to 100 meteors per hour, more than one per minute during the peak of that meteor shower. So that'll be coming up in a couple of weeks.
Right, maybe a little bit more on that when we chat in the next couple of weeks with Mark Breen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and a week from today, the last day of the month. Boy, July's cooking in a hurry, isn't it? It sure is.
I guess so.
All right. Yep, the 82nd Annual North Haverhill Fair is going on as we speak right through the weekend. Yeah, so what's the great weather look like for them anyway?
Yeah, they're going to be really happy with this because we've got sunshine as the story basically through the weekend. Now, today we'll climb up into the 70s to near 80, just a hint of a southerly breeze. Another comfortably cool night tonight, and there'll be some patches of fog right next to the rivers, 50 to 55, 40s in the cooler spots. And then tomorrow, looks like that fog burns off really quickly. In fact, if you don't get up early, you may not even know about it. It'll be a sunny, warm day, 80 to 85. A comfortable night Saturday night in the 50s, and then Sunday, a few clouds around, so we'll call it partly sunny, but still another nice day. Temperatures in the low 80s Sunday afternoon, so nice weather right through the weekend.
Yeah, and you're a hit with everybody today. Mark, you get out there and enjoy that weather, all right?
Well, thank you. You too.
All right, talk to you next week.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Mark Breen, of course, Weekly Conversation is brought to you by Hatchland Farm, Wicked Dairy Delights, and Profile Meats. Of course, it is that time of the year. Get out there and do some barbecuing with the help of Profile Meats in North Haverhill.
You can now purchase Amish-made items locally in North Haverhill at Hatch Lane Farm Wicked Good Dairy Delights. The selection includes corn brooms, birdhouses and feeders, mailboxes, garden decorations, wind chimes, baskets, rugs, wooden clothes racks, charcuterie boards, and more. They also have some great Amish food items. Shop for bacon, dried beef, pickles, jellies, horseradish oats, and granola. Wicked Good Dairy Delights is located on Route 10 in North Haverhill. For hours, daily specials and announcements, visit the Hatch Lane Farm Facebook page.
Located on the foothills of Peaked Mountain in Piermont, today would be a great day to pick your own blueberries at Peaked Mountain Products in Piermont. Enjoy the views from their hillside fields that have over 1,500 blueberry bushes filled with big, plump, ripe blueberries, ready to be picked right now from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Look for the Pick Your Own sign just south of the Piermont Fire Station on Route 10. Take Bedford Road and drive about a mile to the top of the hill to Peaked Mountain Products in Piermont.
And Ted Cooper standing by, Wells River Chevrolet. We'll be chatting with him momentarily. First, here's what's happening in downtown Wells River at Tuttle's Family Diner. Here are their specials. You can enjoy the haddock sandwich with chips and pickle, open face, hot roast beef sandwich with choice of potato and a side. They also have Roby Farm bacon cheeseburger with french fries or tater tots. Their soup today is cabbage kielbasa, and the seafood is haddock, scallops, and strip clams. And we remind you again, those are the specials, but you can also order from the regular menu. They want to remind you at Tuttle's Family Diner that they will be closed Saturday and Sunday. They'll be closed this Saturday and Sunday at Tuttle's Family Diner in Wells River. We're taking a look at the weather, and then we'll be chatting with Ted Cooper. It's being brought to you by Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. You can visit them online at barharbor.bank. Award-winning banking every day across northern New England. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Bar Harbor Bank and Trust helps businesses succeed. We're proud to be recognized by Forbes and Newsweek as one of America's best banks multiple years running. We can help you get the financing you need quickly and improve your cash flow. With over 50 branches and 90 ATMs across northern New England, we make managing your business easier. Whether your business is growing, expanding, or evolving, we can make it happen together. Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. Good things happen when we work together. Member FDIC.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: a few scraps of fog next to the rivers burning off early, otherwise mostly sunny, warmer by afternoon, highs 70s to near 80, just a hint of a southerly breeze. Mostly clear, still cool tonight, patchy valley fog, 50 to 55, 40s in the cool spots. Saturday, any fog burns off to sunshine, warm, highs 80 to 85. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
And brought to you by Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. Visit them online at barharbor.bank. Award-winning banking every day across northern New England. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. All right, it is 7:46. Ted Cooper, good morning, sir.
What a beautiful morning. Kind of feels like September out there, doesn't it?
And, you know, and we're seeing a little less light at both ends of the day, aren't we?
Oh, I know. Well, a little less time to mow after getting home. That's not the worst thing in the world.
Well, that's for sure. Well, Ted, it looks like you've had a bunch of new vehicles dropped at Wells River Chevrolet in the last week or two.
Yeah, we certainly have. And to that end, you know, a lot of people have kind of expressed, you know, consternation about the fact that our lot has looked kind of thin this summer, and it has for two reasons. First of all, we're sort of selling beyond our expectations, and it's been a little slow in replenishment, but that's changing. We've gotten in almost I think 10 new trucks this week. We've got a great lineup of fare specials, by the way. I'm going to run through those in a second, but we're also going to look at some new acquisitions in our used line, which is looking much better. I'd like to just run down a list of some specials here. We got 3 Silverados in yesterday, pre-owned 23s. Got a LT Crew, a custom 1500 double, and a 1500 Crew custom trail boss. And these have all got low mileage on them. And as you may or may not know now, we are now an Ally certified pre-owned dealer. And so any of our used vehicles out here on the line are being sold with that, which is an exclusive 6-month or 6,000-mile limited warranty. Very comprehensive. and no extra charge to the customer. So we're very pleased about that. A couple of highlights. We've got a beautiful 25 Tahoe RST with the diesel engine that's been here now, I don't know, a few weeks now. Fair special price on that is down to $69,800. We've got that beautiful habanero red Equinox EV out there. Somebody wants a real rocket ship, way, way, way below replacement. We got in a Savannah 2500 cargo van yesterday. We haven't seen a lot of those. It's only got about 13,000 miles on it. I got another, I got a High Country Tahoe diesel. It's only got 51,000 miles on it. Let's take a look at that. Just took in a 23 Trailblazer with about 34,000 miles on it. Real nice rig. I happen to know it quite well because it was my wife's, and she is picking up her new identical Trailblazer today. I know, it's fortunate that she knows the dealer,
I guess.
Yeah. As I mentioned, we got those three Silverados in yesterday.
Right.
Got a real nice recent trade this week.
Okay.
It's a 23 VW Taos, I guess, Taos.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really, really nice little white SUV. It's only got 21,000 miles on it. And we got a couple of new trade-in Equinoxes. So we got a good deal of stuff on the used side. And do I have time to talk about some fair specials on new vehicles?
Hey, it's fair time, so let's hear it.
It certainly is fair time, and our own Grace Zambon will be doing tractor pulls this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So let's be rooting for her.
Sure.
So we've got some great new leases. 26 Chevy Trax LT. You can get into a 36-month lease for $359. That's a 10,000-mile lease. You got a new Trailblazer, 26 Trailblazer LT, 36-month, $359 fair special. That's a good deal, and I know that one well. Let's see, 27. Yes, that's 27 Equinox LT. So the Equinoxes, the new Equinoxes are all 27s now, all-wheel drive. You can get into one of those on a nice 10,000-mile lease for about $399, and you have a current any make 21 or newer lease. You get an extra $1,000 off. So that's a good one. Let's see. We got a 26 Colorado crew cab pickup. You can get into that one for about $369 on the fair special. And the Silverado half-ton crew cab pickup, sterling gray, 36-month, 10,000-mile lease. You can get into that for as low as $389 a month. So we do have some. We're locked and loaded here. We've got a great selection. If you look out on the lot, we've got a whole bunch of. We got new Tahoes. We've got new Traverses. We've got 27 Equinoxes. We've got Trailblazers. We've got Traxes. We've got a good range of trucks, and we got a nice dump truck across the street there for you too. So you tell us what you need, and if you don't see it here, we'll find it for you.
Mm-hmm.
And as I've also mentioned to a bunch of my customers, if you can't get here and you need me to bring something to you, give me a call and let me know. Our number here is 802-757-2311. Have a good weekend going to the fair, and take advantage of these fair specials. It's real money.
Certainly is, and Ted Cooper does give us this update every couple of weeks. So stop in and see Ted. Who's helping you out down there, Ted?
Well, a great deal of help. Of course, our sales manager, John Gilmore, who helps put all these numbers together and make sure that all the vehicles are clearly marked with prices and payments and so forth. So it takes a lot of the guesswork out of it.
Yeah.
We've got Rob Ward, of course, here on the sales floor, along with Brianna Bean. Grace Zambon, of course, mans the finance department, and she also sells. So that, and we are all backed by a wonderful service department and recon guys and parts So, you have a problem with a vehicle, don't hesitate to call. If you just need to repair your phone, or if you have a little question about some of the technology, just pop in. It's no charge. We'll come right out and talk to you and figure it out. Oftentimes it's as simple as pressing a button or just getting onto the big screen and setting up something in your settings. So take full advantage of all the technologies that are out there. They're here to make life easier, and we are well equipped to help you figure all that stuff out.
That's pretty awesome.
Don't hesitate to stop in.
Yeah, Wells River Chevrolet. All right, Ted, we'll chat with you in a couple of weeks. We'll be rolling into August at that point.
Looking forward to seeing you again.
All right, enjoy. Thanks, Ted.
Take care.
That's Ted Cooper. He is the Senior Sales and Leasing Professional and also GM Mark of Excellence Award winner at Wells River Chevrolet. 7:53. We'll take a break here, and another look at the weather forecast is just a couple of minutes away. Morning with Stephen John and friends. We're taking a look at the weekend weather again, and it's being brought to you by Ricker Funeral Home and Cremation Care in Woodsville at 603-747-2717. They're also on the World Wide Web at rickerfh.com.
Ricker Funeral Home and Cremation Care of Woodsville is a family-operated funeral home. Since the 1900s, they treat each family they serve as unique and special. Many elements go into creating a ceremony befitting the special life of your loved one. From music to the graveside service, the licensed funeral professionals at Ricker Funeral Home will navigate you every step of the way. They are available to help you plan a meaningful ceremony that will help your loved ones bridge the gap between life before and life after. For more information, visit their website at rickerfh.com.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: a few scraps of fog next to the rivers burning off early, otherwise mostly sunny, warmer by afternoon, highs 70s to near 80, just a hint of a southerly breeze. Mostly clear, still cool tonight, patchy valley fog, 50 to 55, 40s in the cool spots. Saturday, any fog burns off to sunshine, warm, highs 80 to 85. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
And it's 7:57, 50 degrees, heading for the low 80s. Thank you, Mark. That is a look at the weekend weather. It's brought to you by Ricker Funeral Home and Cremation Care in Woodville, locally owned, family operated, online at rickerfh.com, and available in Woodsville at 747-2717. News and information, top of the hour, and then we head into a busy 8 o'clock hour at your country, YKR WTWN. Friday morning, July 24th. Hope you can enjoy the 82nd Annual North Haverhill Fair going on as we speak right through this Sunday. All kinds of great things going on. Go to their website or pick up one of their colorful flyers that you can pick up at many businesses here in the WYKR Haverhill listening area. WTWN Wells River and W286DE Wells River at 105.1 FM. We're heading into a busy 8 o'clock hour. Conversation with Todd Holt, the local physical therapist, coming up right after the news at 8 o'clock.
Is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Patrice Bergeron played 19 seasons in a Boston Bruins uniform, winning almost every possible award. Now the biggest award of all is in play. Patrice Bergeron off to the NHL Hall of Fame.
Because you're always searching for more. You're never really sitting back and looking at what you've accomplished, but rather than try to build something more and create more and learn from other guys. A guy like Z that was always a great example with that, and Rex, and really loved the game and was very contagious for others like myself.
Bergeron, NHL All-Star, Stanley Cup winner, incredibly popular to his teammates and the media.
I think the biggest thing for me was I never felt satisfied with from one year to the next. I always wanted to kind of raise the bar and get better. I felt like there was always something to learn from teammates, from opponents, from obviously coaches and trainers, and that was always what drove me to keep improving and push me and challenge me, I guess, in a way. Never felt satisfied.
Boston Bruins Patrice Bergeron, now in the National Hockey League Hall of Fame.
We'll have more Tom Cuddy Sports coming up in the next hour at your country, WYKR. Now at 1 minute after 8, we take a look at the weather forecast heading into the weekend. It's being brought to you by Alarmco, a security and protection company that's based in Bradford. And, of course, they do specialize in home and business security fire systems, video surveillance, safes, audiovisual equipment, networking, and phone systems. In addition to installation services, Alarmco can also provide monitoring and repair services for a whole variety of systems. Alarmco is locally owned and family operated right here in Bradford.
Protect the things that matter with the help of Alarmco, a security and protection company based in Bradford. Manage your lights and temperature settings with automated schedules. Create easy rules to have an added layer of smart automation based on system activity. Unlike traditional systems that only alert you in an alarm event, Alarmco lets you know what's happening at your property at any time. It's easy to set your own alerts and reminders to be notified of any activity you care about. For a free no-obligation quote and see what Alarmco can do for you, visit their website at alarmcovt.com.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: a few scraps of fog next to the rivers burning off early, otherwise mostly sunny, warmer by afternoon, highs 70s to near 80, just a hint of a southerly breeze. Mostly clear, still cool tonight, patchy valley fog, 50 to 55, 40s in the cool spots. Saturday, any fog burns off to sunshine, warm, highs 80 to 85. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
And there you have it, updated forecast as we head into the weekend. It's brought to you by Alarmco. Stay notified on what's going on in your home or business even when you're away. Connect your security, lights, locks, thermostats, video, and more for seamless automation and control. You can contact them today for a free, no-obligation quote and see what they can do for you. Alarmco, locally owned and operated in Bradford. We're 3 minutes after 8 and sitting in the mid-50s, heading for 80, possibly the low 80s. Clear blue, sunny skies. Good morning.
We are delighted to have on the phone Todd Holt from Todd Holt Physical Therapy. Todd, how are you doing?
Hey, Josh, I'm doing good.
Excellent.
It's been nice weather lately, huh?
Oh, man, it has been gorgeous, and I'm already starting to see, I don't want to scare any of our listeners out there, but I'm already starting to see Halloween decorations being sold in the stores.
Oh, we were at Walmart the other day. My daughter pointed out the school, like backpacks and all that stuff's on sale. Going, oh, can't believe it.
It's already here. I know.
I hate to see summer go.
Yeah. You know, this is the thing I love about our neck of the woods, though, Todd, is that we don't take summer for granted. We dive right into it because we know it's not going to last.
That's absolutely true. And I do like wintertime, but I enjoy summer more.
Yeah. And so what do you usually see then coming in through the door between your seasons?
Well, the knees a lot in the wintertime with skiing injuries, including my son who injured his knee recently, skiing. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he didn't come to physical therapy here, but I mean, it's just, yeah, we all tend to hurt ourselves. Knees a lot in wintertime, a lot of shoulders when they slip on the ice.
Okay.
And this time of year, it seems like getting a lot of people are doing sports and running and stuff like that. So we see like people with ankle sprains, hiking. A lot of times people sprain their ankles hiking down the mountain. And actually what I was going to talk about today was plantar fasciitis. I've talked about ankle sprains plenty of times, though. But yeah, something I've been seeing a lot of lately, I think just because people are walking a lot.
Okay.
Going on vacation, walking maybe barefoot, going to the beach, walking on their lawn. And so it seems like I've had a lot of plantar fasciitis patients. Foot pain.
Okay. So, yeah, so how does that, because you always, I learn so much. I go to the school of the Friday morning shows and learn so much from you, Todd, and some of our other guests. But plantar fasciitis, what exactly is that?
So usually it's heel pain,
okay,
and it's inside of your heel most likely. So inner heel pain and pain in your arch. So your plantar fascia is it's actually some of your flexor muscles too, but the fascia on the bottom side of your foot and some of the flexor tendons help hold your arch up. And when you overuse it, it gets inflamed. More commonly, it happens in people that are flat-footed, less arch, because there's more movement in the foot bones. If you have high arches, you have less movement. That can cause problems too, though, because a super high arched foot has no movement, and then that causes problems as well. So they end up having more of a stiff foot and less shock absorption. They have equal, not equal, but they have problems also sometimes. More likely is a flat-footed person. They also call it pes planus, if you're into medical words. But flat-footed would be the layman's term for lack of arch height. And it causes a lack of support in the foot, so then the tendons tend to get overused, tendons and fascia, and next thing you know, they start developing a lot of heel pain.
What about preventative ways to deal with this?
So from a PT standpoint, we would typically, orthotics would be almost like a given, and I make orthotics right here. I'll mold you, and I have a grinder to glue everything. So I'll make them usually before you leave, or I'll have them ready for the next session, or maybe make them the next session depending on how long things are going. Preventive therapy, also definitely stretching, plantar fascia stretching, and usually Achilles tendon stretching, heel cord stretching. Those are often tight as well, and anatomically the heel cord kind of wraps around the heel through fascia fibers to the plantar fascia. Heel cord stretching, plantar fascia stretching, gives us specific stretches. So this will give them some rubber bands for strengthening, just to get blood flow to the tendons, and also to strengthen the muscles that are sometimes getting inflamed, and that helps as well.
Right. Even like you're saying earlier, even if you are planning on going on a hike or doing a lot of exercise to stretch ahead of time, but it's probably good practice to stretch every day anyway.
Yeah, and actually a lot of studies, a lot of like pro pitchers, baseball players, they're stretching after practices because that reduces incidence of injuries and that delayed onset muscle soreness, that post-exercise soreness we get from working out, the tendons, health, and everything. So if you're doing some hiking or doing some running and you're taking it up, maybe pushing yourself a little too much, make sure you always stretch after.
Okay.
Stretching after actually can be debated whether it's more important to stretch before. It's a big topic. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things you can prevent. You don't always need physical therapy. You can look them up online, heel cord stretches, plantar fascia stretches, getting proper shoe wear. You might be able to just get away with buying some decent shoes, with some decent arch, like some Brooks or New Balance, maybe right down at Farmway, something like that. You might get away without having to definitely do physical therapy. So a lot of home remedies, stretching, and good shoe wear is good. And then if that's not working, the next step would be then probably physical therapy.
Okay. Because you're here local, and once again, we're talking to Todd Holt from Todd Holt Physical Therapy, who is right just at the bottom of the hill, and he can be reached at 802-757-8000. It's a super easy number to remember. So for folks that want to reach out and they say they have questions or they have sustained an injury, can they just come and knock on your door, or do they have to go through the physical?
They could call and we could talk over the phone, or if they come in, someone will talk to you.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Perfect. So, Todd, any final comments?
No, just, when you do these new activities, try to work on having good shoe wear, and we start to have those symptoms, pay attention to them, and try to remedy them before they become too serious.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you so much, Todd. And once again, we'll talk to you again in another few weeks.
Thanks, Josh.
And that's a conversation at Joshua Smith Head with Todd Holt, local physical therapist in downtown Wells River. Our time now at 10 minutes after 8. Let's go to Bradford. Say good morning to Greg Hodge at Valley Floors. Morning, Greg.
Good morning, Steve. How are you, sir?
Yeah, doing all right. All right, Greg, you're the expert and the pro in what division there, Valley Floors?
I don't know if I'm an expert.
Oh, boy.
I do all the window shades and blinds for clients, and, we have quite a display in here. They can come in and look, and then we set up a time. We talk with them. We do free estimates. We do free, measurements, and kind of talk to the client, working through them what they'd like.
Yeah, but you've been doing this a long time down there.
Almost 9 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why
I love it.
Yeah, that's why you're the expert.
I love it. Yep.
That's good to hear. All right, you carry 3 major lines. What are those?
We carry Hunter Douglas, Graber, and Norman.
All right.
And they're all, they're all good lines to have. And and we have we have displays for all 3 of them here in the showroom. So people are more than welcome to come in. And I suggested, I really try to get them to come in and look, to kind of get a feel on what they're looking for and what they want their look, their window shades to look like after they're all installed.
Yeah.
So it's best to come in, pick something out, and then we'll go. And a lot of times, somebody that's older can't do that. I can certainly come to the house and bring the samples with me and show them at the home.
Sure. Yeah. Is it better that you do the installation, Greg?
I would say 99% of the time, people can do their own installing.
Yep.
If the problem is if I take their measurements and they're wrong, then they're stuck with a shade.
Right.
So, And yeah, we do. I do charge per shade to install them, but you get them done, and they're professionally done, and most people are like, yeah, I want you to install them. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So I've said, okay.
Yeah. I can imagine that would be me. You're going to have great.
And some of them can be some of them are very challenging.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of them are pretty simple, but some of them, when you get into Power View and programming and that sort of thing, they can be challenging.
Sure. So Power View and doing some programming, what do you mean more specifically then?
Well, shades now come out with Power View. I mean, you could talk to your shades and say, go up, go down, and they do it.
Wow.
And yeah, it's pretty amazing. And, the technology is just flying.
Yeah.
I mean, the Power View shades. And Power View shades, they work really nice if they're on a higher spot that you can't reach.
Exactly.
You know, and we, as long as they prepare for that, if, Power Views you can have rechargeable batteries, you can have the motor in the headrail, but the best way to do it if they're up high is to have it hardwired.
Yeah.
And you do that when you initially do your build, or there's a lot that goes into it.
I guess there is, yeah, because we've talked for years with Valley Floors, and, flooring is one of the first things you should talk about if you're doing an addition or if you're building, but it's probably one of the last things that goes down.
The window shades are absolutely the last thing that goes in.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Want to wait till everything else is done and then do the window shades because, if there's no casings on the windows, I can't get a proper measurement.
True.
It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Nope.
Greg Hodge is the expert. What about shutters?
I do shutters as well, and I've done quite a few shutters. I mean, do full shutters or cafe, whatever the client wants. They look really nice in some homes. You get the old farmhouse shutters, and I've done 2 sets of those. 4 per window with they look really nice once they're done.
I bet they do. All right. So if our listeners are interested, they can contact you by phone or stop in. What are the hours and what's the number?
The hours are, we're here from basically 7 to 5. I mean, the store opens at 8, but I'm here at 7. The number is 802-222-9611. Ask for Greg in the shade department, and just call me up, and we'll set a time up to me to come out, or you want to come in.
Good idea. All right, Greg, we have some nice weather going on. Enjoy the weekend.
You betcha. You as well, Steve. Thank you so much.
Talk to you soon. Have a great day.
You bet.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yep, Greg Hodge. Be sure and ask for him at Valley Floors right there in Bradford. It's a Friday morning with Steve and John and friends. It's the 24th day of July, 2026 already. And you know what you can do today? You could stop by Three Bears Country Barn right here on Route 302. And for lunch and dinner, Lou Del Grego's Italian Diner is going to be there with classic and signature pizzas, including the legendary homemade hot honey pepperoni and house-whipped ricotta, and the garlic Jim with pepperoni, minced garlic sauce, and 3-cheese blend with honey garlic drizzle. And this week's specials are the Tennessee Red Pizza and Giant Pinozzo Sandwich. And both have house-smoked pulled pork, red onions, and red sweet mini peppers with Tennessee red sauce. Ask for homemade candied jalapenos on the pizza or sandwich, and creamy horseradish for the sandwich. Three Bears Country Barn right here on Route 302. For lunch and dinner, be sure to stop by and enjoy Lou Del Grego's Italian Diner. And those are the specials being served. We're coming up 16 minutes after. It's time to take a look at the weather. And then a conversation that I had recently with Bob Yaroshevich, Wild Vermont Customs. He's set up at the 82nd Annual North Haverhill Fair. And then we'll be talking with Trinity Church of the Nazarene soon after that with George Hemway and Laurie Market. All that's coming up in the next few minutes right here at Your Country. The weather at 16 minutes after 8 is being brought to you by PTO's Repair. And they have moved to 2320 Route 5 in Fairleigh, about 3.5 miles south of the traffic light. And at 802-222-6152, PTO's Repair is your local Fisher authorized dealer selling the Fisher snowplows and the Fisher sanders.
PTOs wants you to know.
If you are planning to purchase a new Fisher plow or sander this year, now is the time. Our 2026 order will be here soon. If you are wondering what plow best fits your vehicle, go to our website and click eMatch or give us a call. PTO's Repair at 2320 Route 5 Fairley or on the web at ptosrepair.com. I'm PTO and I wanted you to know.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: a few scraps of fog next to the rivers burning off early, otherwise mostly sunny, warmer by afternoon, highs 70s to near 80, just a hint of a southerly breeze. Mostly clear, still cool tonight, patchy valley fog, 50 to 55, 40s in the cool spots. Saturday, any fog burns off to sunshine, warm, highs 80 to 85. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
And be sure and thank Paul for bringing you the weather. Paul and Kim, the owners of PTO's Repair, right there in Bradford, just about 3.5 miles south of the traffic light at 2320 Route 5 in Fairley at 802-222-6152. Fisher Snowplows, Fisher Sanders, PTO's is your local Fisher authorized dealer. And Paul and myself will be broadcasting live at the Bay Ridge Speedway on the very first day of August. It'll be Wakamoto Sales Night. 18 minutes after 8, 55 degrees under clear blue sunny skies.
It's fair time. Come to the North Haverhill Fair.
America, 250 years in the making is the theme of this year's annual North Haverhill Fair. Wednesday, July 22nd through Sunday, the 26th. Cirque Cyber is the future of entertainment, a combination of classic thrill acts with a modern twist. This show features state-of-the-art lighting and sound, along with creative and colorful costuming. Watch acts such as The Wheel of Danger, Aerial Lyra, High Wire, and more presented in a theatrical performance. Guaranteed to thrill audiences of all ages, Cirque Cyber is the future of entertainment, a combination of classic thrill acts with a modern twist. America, 250 years in the making is the theme of this year's annual North Haverhill Fair. Wednesday, July 22nd through Sunday, the 26th.
We're talking with Bob Yaroshevich again, Wild Vermont Customs, Wise Enterprises, who we have heard is selling a lot of his goods like crazy at the 82nd Annual North Haverhill Fair, right?
Yeah, it's
you.
It's been good fair so far. We've definitely sold a lot of stuff, and people have come by the booth. Now that we're there and it's out in the public, I got a motorcycle from a friend. I can't really ride a two-wheeler because I have Lyme disease, so I get dizzy sometimes.
Okay.
So he's trying to get me to ride. So I'm making it's actually going to end up being a complete cycle car. But right now we brought it it's a Harley Anniversary Edition. It's a reverse trike right now.
Okay.
It's not complete or not driving yet. We decided that people always see our end product, but they don't see everything that goes into making that end product.
Mm-hmm.
This time we decided that we're going to bring it as a work in progress, because my stuff is last on the list to get done. You know, it'll be a multi-year project to get it 100% complete. So our plan is we brought it this year. It's a reverse trike. I bought components. I built a Mustang 2 front end that I put onto it. Unfortunately, the steering's not hooked up because my steering parts didn't show up until Tuesday night, and we already had it there at the fair. Yeah. But people have really liked it.
Good.
So anybody that wants to come by the fair, you come by our booth and take a look. It's gotten a lot of really good reviews from people.
Right.
I already have one lady that asked if I could do hers.
Really?
I said, well, this is a prototype right now, so let me perfect this one. But then, absolutely, we can do it.
Okay, good. Sidecar eventually?
No, it'll be a cycle car, so it'll be 4 wheels.
Okay.
2 in the front, 2 in the back.
Okay. Oh, all right. You're not going to tip over unless you're going really fast.
No, I won't even tip over then. The tires for the back were for another project that I ended up selling that project to somebody else who was really interested in it. I had the tires sitting up in my tire rack on the rims, so that was supposed to be more of a drag project. So The front tires are a little narrow 4-inch wide tires, and the rears are like 16.5 or 18-inch wide. I can't remember.
So let's just take a moment to talk about tires, because you've got a brand new tire changer about a year ago.
Yeah, we did, and it's a good one. It can pretty much change any tire out there up to about 50 inches in diameter, and I think up to about 20 inches wide.
And not everybody can do so big.
Right. I mean, the reason we got it is our old tire changer topped out at 35 inches, which is what we run on our work trucks, and it was a struggle trying to get them because they rubbed the post when we were trying to put them on. So that was the main reason that we swapped and got the new tire changer.
So Wild Vermont Customs, Wise Enterprises can help you out from a little guy like a wheelbarrow tire up to what you just said.
Yeah, I mean,
I assume
we could even do on that one. We can even do like small lawnmower front tires.
Good to know. All right, so let's talk about some of the smaller stuff that you have available at your fair booth.
So we brought, as usual, we brought a bunch of American flags cut out of 16 gauge metal. So it's not the cheap Chinese stuff that's paper thin metal. Ours are rugged. They're going to last you a lifetime. And then we brought some that are nice finished, and we brought some that are distressed. We've got a standard American flag, a Betsy Ross 1776 flag, and a Betsy Ross flag that says 250th on it.
Yep. So those are available, or you can put in a special order.
You can, and we can make them different sizes.
What about your bar top? What's that deal?
Bar table top or the kitchen top?
I don't know, the bar thing that we were at and it had lights in it and stuff.
Yeah, so that's a bar table. That one's bee-themed, as you saw.
Right.
And the center column is lit from inside with a yellow light, so it gives you that honeycomb appearance of the bees. And then, as you saw, even the top circle center was frosted behind it, and the light comes up through there. So
didn't you have one a couple of years ago with like 1/64th vehicles in it, like Matchbox or Hot Wheels?
We did. We actually donated it to the Darlings Car Show, and they gave it away.
That's it. Okay.
Yep.
Meanwhile, they are going to be part of the car show, which is going to be up at the racetrack in Waterford, I believe, on the 15th of August. So that's good.
Yep, they are.
Yep. All right. So some of the other things, you're set up at the North Haverhill Fair for the next few days.
We are. We have wind spinners. We have some other metal artwork. For the 250th, I made like kind of a shield looking thing that says 250 years strong. There's just a bunch of different stuff. We had people we've had for a few years, never sold one, but yesterday, I don't know what it was, we sold a bunch yesterday of metal stakes for marking your rows in your garden, what's in each row.
And you know what wooden ones do? They don't last very long.
No, and that's it. These are powder coated. They'll last you probably your lifetime.
Wow, that's a pretty cool idea. All right, so if special orders, you're going to take those at the fair.
We will.
And they can also contact you on your Facebook page if they want to message you after the fair.
Yeah, like one of the ladies that bought one garden stake yesterday. She's going to send me a list of flowers. So the ones I have at the fair are just vegetable-related ones. But she's going to send me a list of flowers that she wants stakes for.
Right. You're in the commercial building. What do they look for? So they know
we're about the center of the commercial building. You can't miss us. Yeah. You come down through right next to United Egg and Turf.
Find a Harley with a couple of wheels in the front of it.
Yeah, it's sticking right out. You can't miss it.
More than a motorcycle at this point, right? All right, final comments?
Just come down and see us. We've got a lot of stuff available, a lot of stuff for people to look at and maybe give you some new ideas.
Bob and Gabe, anybody else helping you out?
This year, it looks like it's going to be mainly me and Gabe the whole time. Jasper's got some other family stuff he's working on, so going to be mainly me and Gabe there the whole time. But Gabe's girlfriend, I guess, is going to come down Friday and Saturday with us. So,
good. All right, good. All right, thanks a lot, Bob.
Yeah, one other thing I forgot that we have at the fair that was really popular yesterday. People are carrying flags in their beds and they stick them down in the bed rail.
Okay, yeah.
We made a flag carrier that goes in your 2-inch receiver. You just pop out your 2-inch receiver. It's a good piece of roll bar DOM tubing, so it's never going to bend on you.
Nice.
And you can just run your flag right in the back of your truck in the 2-inch receiver.
Yeah, I saw that at your booth the other day. I should have asked about it. Good. All right, so check out Bob and Gabe at Wild Vermont Customs, Wise Enterprises, at the 82nd Annual North Haverhill Fair.
We'll be there.
All right, 26 after 8, still coming up. We'll have a conversation with Trinity Church of the Nazarene in just a few minutes. But first, another update on the weather right after we find out what they're serving today for specials at Tuttle's Family Diner right here in downtown Wells River. You can enjoy the haddock sandwich with chips and pickle or the Roby Farm bacon cheeseburger with french fries or tater tots. And the open-faced hot roast beef sandwich is available with choice of potato and a side. Their soup is cabbage kielbasa, and they have haddock, scallops, and strip clams that are available. And those are the specials, but you can also order from the regular menu. They do want to remind you they're closed this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, reopening first of the week. All right, 27 after 8. Let's take a look at the weather. Clear blue sunny skies. We're in the mid-50s, heading for the low 80s today. Compliments of House Right Construction right there on Route 5 South in Newbury.
How do you define home? Is it your sanctuary? A reflection of your style and values? A playground for your children and grandchildren? However you define it, House Right Construction can help you create the house that says, welcome home to you. House Right is your expert Vermont and New Hampshire home builder. They have been partnering with clients since 1985. They build and renovate homes that fulfill their clients' exact visions. House Right Construction is proud to be able to say that the foundation of their business continues to be their enduring relationships with clients, who return to them as their home visions grow and who refer them to their friends. Try letting House Right be the builder of the home of your dreams. Welcome home with House Right. House Right Construction, Main Street South, Newbury, Vermont. Online at houseright.net.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: a few scraps of fog next to the rivers burning off early, otherwise mostly sunny, warmer by afternoon, highs 70s to near 80, just a hint of a southerly breeze. Mostly clear, still cool tonight, patchy valley fog, 50 to 55, 40s in the cool spots. Saturday, any fog burns off to sunshine, warm, highs 80 to 85. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
See how well my engineer's done this? It's just about 8:30, and that's when you were scheduled. Come on, George. How are you?
Hey, good morning. Great to see you, Stephen.
Yeah, likewise.
Good
Been
to be back.
Long time since you've been in here.
Right, and to be here in the springtime or summertime,
Yeah.
you know, usually it's cold weather. We're talking about
So true.
Living Nativity, but today we get to talk about our summer Bible adventure.
But the Living Nativity will be a little bit warmer this year. We'll get to that in a few minutes. You have a guest.
Right. I have with us our children's pastor, Pastor Laurie Market, and she heads up our children's ministries, and she has been working hard along with a great team of folks at our church preparing our summer Bible adventure, which folks might be a little more familiar with it being called Vacation Bible School,
Right.
or VBS.
Right.
But summer Bible adventure takes the school word out of it, and it is an adventure through the Bible, and also an adventure as kids will have a great time learning about the Lord and biblical truth, biblical values, and also having a great time with a lot of games and science experiments and water fun and a picnic on the last day and all sorts of things. But Pastor Laurie can fill us in on some more of those things. But
Sure.
yeah, we appreciate the opportunity to come up and share about it.
Morning.
Yeah, we are really excited to be able to bring the children in, as we say, because it's a time when we have really a lot of fun with them, interactive. It's very interactive in the sense of, yes, there's some teaching, but there's also music and drama. Going to have some special guests come in for the drama portion of our program. But the children really get very excited when they aren't just sitting there. Again, this whole idea of school, it's really not. It's an adventure, and our theme this year is Wonder Junction, and so the kids get to go from station to station to really learn about Jesus and all of the different wonders of the world.
Are there different age groups?
Different age groups. It's really, we say 5 to 12.
Okay.
And then if there's younger ones, they're certainly welcome to stay, but we just ask for a parent or guardian to hang in with them.
So should they register in advance?
Absolutely. They can go on to our website, and there's a banner at the top And they could just click on it and they can register. And actually, we truly appreciate registration in advance because it helps us to get a good idea of the count.
Yeah. And this is a new thing for us this year. You know, in the past, people have registered when they've come in the first day of Summer Bible Adventure. But not only is it on our website, there's a link on our Facebook page. And then also, we have been handing out a lot of these cards that, in fact, 600 of them at the 4th of July parade we handed out. And there's a QR code right on there. And all folks need to do is open that QR code with their phone, takes them right to the link. So a lot of people have been registering online ahead of time. And with the age groups you were asking about, Stephen, so within the 4 days of the Summer Bible Adventure, the kids will be broken down into age groups. So there'll be 4 groups, and each group will have a team leader. And they will be taken, so it's a rotating basis of the things that they'll be involved with. So while one group is at the Bible lesson, another group will be at the craft, and then there'll be some science experiments to reinforce biblical truths. So they'll be rotating by age groups.
Yeah, it's going to keep them active.
Keep them active,
Keep
and we
them moving.
find that with the smaller groups, by age, they also make friends.
Sure.
And it's really important to the kids to be with other kids that they can enjoy one another and have a good time.
And this is, what are the dates of the Summer Bible Adventure?
It's August 10th to the 13th.
Is there a deadline for them to register?
No.
Sooner than later?
Sooner than later.
But we're still welcoming if somebody needs to register when they get there. And the other thing we always want to mention is that if there are kids and families that cannot come every day of that week, the 4 days, if they can only come a day or two, we certainly welcome them to join in as well.
Okay. Do you have a capacity limit?
No.
You'll make it happen.
Let us deal with that issue, right?
It'll
work.
Jesus fed 5,000 with a couple fish and a few loaves. So, no, he always provides. God is so faithful, and we've got an incredibly dedicated group of volunteers that are always willing to roll up their sleeves for the Lord and do whatever is needed. And we always work to make the kids safe and a great environment. And speaking of that, Stephen, I just want to mention for folks that may be wondering, all of the people in our church that work with the children they go through a screening process and are background checked. We take children's safety very, very seriously. And so they're all trained in that regard. And all of the workers in our church that will be at Summer Bible Adventure will all have on similar shirts, the same color shirt that says Wonder Junction on it. And so that way children will know who they can go to or who the leaders are. So we take that aspect very seriously, too.
Yeah, George Hemway, familiar voice, been here many times, even though it's been a while since George has been in. Thanks for reaching out. And Laurie Market, who is now the children's pastor. So what does that mean? What do you do, Laurie?
Well, all things children.
Okay.
Certainly from our time on Sunday mornings when we have what we call junior church or nursery. We take that very seriously as well in terms of ensuring good teachers and curriculum, etc. And then the events. We just had a great time in the 4th of July parade with a float. So really, as we look forward, we're looking to reach out into the community. That's the other big piece of what we do, to bring the children in.
Do you sit in for George once in a while so he can have some time off?
I do.
You do?
I do.
And very capably as well. She does.
I do.
So what are the hours and what days are you pastoring your children, and also when you're doing your work, George?
You mean as far as like a weekly schedule or
Yeah.
whatever? Well, it's I don't know if there's ever an ending time to it, but
your Sunday services are when?
I mean, our Sunday services, we have Sunday school for all ages at 9:30, and then our service at 10:45. And as Pastor Laurie said, we have junior church for the young kids while our service is going on. And then, of course, throughout the week, we're both busy. There's all sorts of things. We're planning things, meeting with people, connecting with people, and then also planning for upcoming events. Like you mentioned, the Living Nativity. We're already hard at work with that. And then Pastor Laurie does a Bible study during the week, and we have Bible study, a couple Bible studies going on during the week. So there's always a lot going on.
And for the Summer Bible Adventure coming up the week of August 10th, you do or don't have to be a member of Trinity Church?
No, absolutely not. This is open to anyone in the community, anybody that would like to bring their kids. And, the idea obviously is to help them understand some biblical truths and how much God loves them and has a plan for their lives. Because in our world today, more than ever, it seems like that kids are looking for a purpose and they're looking for hope. And we provide that through not only the loving care of our people at the church, but also with biblical truth, as I said, so that they know that they were created by God with a special purpose in mind, and He loves them, and that they matter to God and they matter to us as well.
Certainly. Your location is where, for our listeners that don't know?
That's a great question. So we are still located right next to the Grafton County Courthouse, right off of Route 10. So technically it's Nazarene Drive, but we are right off Horse Meadow Road. So when you see the Grafton County Courthouse, we're right next door to that.
Yeah. So George comes in periodically, usually in the latter part of the year, to talk about the holidays. So let's move forward a few months and find out what's going on during Christmas at Trinity Church of the Nazarene.
Well, during Christmas this year, we will be presenting, I think it's our 35th annual Living Nativity presentation to the community.
Wow.
Although, Stephen, the records show 35 years, but I think it's probably 40 or more years that we've actually done it.
Yeah.
But this year, the major change will be that we will be moving it indoors. So on Friday, December 11th, I believe is the date, we will be moving that indoors, and we'll be showing 2 showings for the public. And of course, as always, there's no charge for that. But this year, people won't have to bundle up, and they'll be inside. It'll be more comfortable. We'll have greater capacity for attendance. And it'll be easier, less stressful for our people that participate in the Living Nativity. Because as you know, you and Teresa have been there many times, and your dad used to come and enjoy the marshmallows and the hot cocoa. I remember that fondly. Those special memories of people connecting in the community. But yes, we will be presenting the true meaning of the birth of the Lord Jesus, as we do every year, and people will have an opportunity to hear that. And we always have some people that come regularly every year because they just enjoy being reminded of and seeing that presentation, reminded of the true meaning of Christmas. And then we always have lots of new folks every year as well. So yes, we'll be talking more about that on the air as we get closer to that. But we're excited, and a lot of work and planning has been going into that already.
Will the presentation be much different or similar to when it has been outside?
It will be similar, but there will be some changes to it. We will not have the live animals this year, obviously. But essentially, the elements of the gospel, the true meaning of Jesus' birth and the account of that will not change. But we probably will do some minor tweaking of some things since it will be indoors. We'll have some different scenery and a few other things that we'll be adapting.
Sure.
But the essence of it, the core thing, will remain the same.
Sure. Of course, we're getting an update from George and Laurie from Trinity Church of the Nazarene. And as we said, it's been a while since you've been in. How long have you been with the church, Laurie?
Well, I actually came up into this area a little under 4 years ago from New Jersey, but I've been involved with the Church of the Nazarene for many, many years.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and Pastor Laurie is she's ordained as a minister in the Church of the Nazarene.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, we're so glad that she's moved up here and been a big blessing to our church and the community and the children's ministry.
All right. She'll be in next week again, but you're not going to be with her.
Right.
All right.
She'll have the mic all to herself now next week.
Chatting with George Hemway and Laurie Market from Trinity Church of the Nazarene. So let's go back and just, a lot of listeners know a little bit more about the Summer Bible Adventure, formerly VBS. Why'd you change the name a little bit? It was time?
Well, kids in school.
Okay.
Vacation Bible school.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to school in the summer. Certainly when I was growing up, going to school in the summer was a bad thing.
Yeah.
And really, it doesn't represent well what we're doing. And the word adventure, or even Wonder Junction, which is where we're at this year with our theme, is really more about what we're trying to do to give the kids an adventure as they go through and learn more about Jesus.
Certainly. Okay. And that's the week of August 10th, and they could go to your Facebook page.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
To register in
page,
advance.
Just look up Trinity Church of the Nazarene on Facebook. And our website is TriNaz, which stands for Trinity Nazarene. So our website is TriNaz, NH, which is the North Haverhill, New Hampshire part, TriNaz, NHNH.org. And right there will pop up a thing that they can click on. It'll take them right to the registration link.
For a summer Bible adventure.
Right. And if anybody has any questions, they can message us on Facebook or even call the church. Our church phone number is 603-787-6177. And if there's no answer, leave a message, and I'll get back to somebody promptly.
Okay, and don't wait. August 10th,
Right.
week of August 10th, so you got 4 days.
4 days, and the times are 8:45 a.m. to noon. And then on the last day, which is Thursday the 13th, there will be a picnic for the kids and their families, and Splash Mountain water ride, fun thing, water. The kids like that on hot summer days, and cotton candy I think we're going to have.
We're hoping.
Right? Yeah.
Being treated.
So, yeah, as well as the picnic. And no cost for any of this. No charge to attend. It's an honor for us to serve our community. That's one of the things at Trinity Church. We love the Lord, and we love our community.
Yeah, easy to find, as you said, next to the courthouse, just off Route 10 in North Haverhill.
Right.
Next to the, let's see.
Right next to the Grafton County Courthouse.
There you
Our
go.
great neighbors that have always helped us so much in ministry. We appreciate that.
Final comments from either one of you?
Well, it's going to be an
covered a lot of
exciting time.
stuff.
And Pastor Laurie,
I'm just really, truly excited. Anybody gets me talking about the kids, it's like, come on out.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Good. And we'll look forward to chatting with you next week, Laurie.
Look forward to it.
All right. Laurie Market, George Hemway from Trinity Church of the Nazarene. Thank you for the update.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Enjoy
Always
the
great to be
weekend
together.
weather.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. We'll check out the forecast again for you in just a few minutes. It is 8:44.
I always wanted to be a left fielder. Elmo, the folks at Dad's 4x Tool and Supply say you're pretty far out in left field already. Why? That's the left fielder's name. I want you to tell me the name of the player in left field. Why? I want to be a left fielder. Why? Because he plays center field. You're driving me crazy. Don't let looking for tools, hardware, or propane gas drive you crazy. See Dad's 4x Tool and Supply with locations in St. Johnsbury and Wells River. And yes, Dad's got gas. I think I'll just think about being a pitcher.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: a few scraps of fog next to the rivers burning off early, otherwise mostly sunny, warmer by afternoon, highs 70s to near 80, just a hint of a southerly breeze. Mostly clear, still cool tonight, patchy valley fog, 50 to 55, 40s in the coolest spots. Saturday, any fog burns off to sunshine, warm, highs 80 to 85. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
And for Dad's 4x Tool and Supply, 2 locations in St. Johnsbury and also here in downtown Wells River. And by the way, you can also see some of the trailers that are available at Dad's 4x Tool and Supply if you stop by the 82nd Annual North Haverhill Fair, or be sure to stop by their businesses in St. Johnsbury or in Wells River. She's a lot of different artists that she's teamed up with. Right now, it's 8:53. Steve and John wrapping up our 3 hours. It began earlier at 6, and we hope to do it again with you next Friday on the 31st, last day of the month, July 31st, 2026. Heading into the weekend, a nice weekend of weather. We'll run that down again in just a few minutes right here at your country.
Red Sox back to work tonight. Their incredible streak of winning game after game is over. Next 3 games at Fenway against the Blue Jays. Red Sox manager Chad Tracy.
We've put ourselves in a playoff race now, for, not only for a wild card, but a chance at a division. So, that's got to be the focus. Very, very, very proud of what they accomplished and what they've done over the last however many weeks it's been with the night. And now we got to refocus.
Chad Tracy, winners of 15 of their last 16 games. Sox players running on optimism. Team spokesperson Wilson Contreras.
The adjustment we made as a group and as a team was amazing, offensively and defensively, and the pitchers are doing an amazing job. But we have to turn the page, clear our heads for Friday, and keep playing baseball.
Wilson Contreras, Red Sox and Toronto on Yawkey Way tonight. It's a 3-game series.
And good morning. We hope you have enjoyed the morning. Started way back at 6 this early morning. And, boy, a lot of different folks we have chatted with. And it's going to be a busy Friday next week on the 31st. We've already lined up a lot of great guests, so we hope you can join us then. We gave away some tickets to Xanadu, to Rent, and to Tick Tick Boom to the Weather Vane Theater in Whitefield, and we'll be giving away some more next week and the week after that, so we hope you can tune in. Congratulations to Diane Phipps, to Don Lazera, and Edith Thurston, who won tickets earlier this morning to go and see some shows at the Weather Vane Theater. Meanwhile, the latest news and information is coming up next, just a few minutes.